And we'll start recording. Welcome back to the multifamily wholesaling boot camp. Multifamily is the way to go. I know everybody starts with something a little bit smaller, but you don't have to. Personally, I did start with a single family, not because I wanted to, not because I thought I had to, but because my girlfriend wanted to. And men in the call, hands to the camera if you know they hold the keys at the end of the day. Yes, it's true. But after 4 years, we discovered that, well, I discovered again that I really wanted to get into multifamily. I really wanted cash flow. I really didn't want to have to pay the bills for the property that I was living in anymore. So sold the property, took 34,000 as a profit, rolled it into my first multifamily. And the journey ever since has been both hard work, grind, and every so often a nice breath of fresh air because the tenants are paying and everything is smooth. Hands to the camera if you know ultimately you'd like to be a landlord at the end of this game. Absolutely. That's where the cash flow is at. It's all about that cash flow, not cash flow. We want to keep it moving. If it stays still, it goes down in value. So keep it moving so you can raise rents, you can buy more assets. And multifamily is the way to go. Wholesaling multifamily is the way to get the big checks. When you wholesale a building that's, $100,000, $200,000, small checks. When you wholesale a building that's $2, $3, $4 million, big checks. Hands to camera if you did the math in your head. You already know that's the way to go. Truth is, there's less multifamilies out there than single families. But fortunately, there's also less competition. So the barrier to entry is much lower, even though proportionally there's more single families. There are significantly less people with the guts to do what you guys are doing. Significantly less people who have the desire to take themselves to the next level, and they stay small. See, this community is aimed at getting bigger, going to that next level. The 100 Millionaires Summit is coming up. Dorena talked about it. Go to ibuildmillionaires.com/summit to see all the cool details on it. What we'll be doing is three things. One, we'll be networking with the most powerful community there is, which is people who are committed to becoming millionaires. If you're a wholesaler, your buyers may be in the room. If you're a buyer, your wholesalers may be in the room. And if you're a lender, guess what? Your buyers, your clients are in the room. If you're a person looking to buy and don't have the money, lenders are in the room. Hands to the camera if you know that's the right room to be in, because you don't have to do it all, but you do need people who are willing to do the stuff you're not good at or have no desire to continue doing. Hands to the camera if you know that it takes a little bit more than just hard work to be successful. Who's noticed you got to do the right things? Yes, it's more than just hard work. It's the right work goes way further. I remember this one time when I was younger, I was sweeping the warehouse floor of the job that I had. I was sweeping the floor, and it took me 4 hours to sweep the floor. My boss came in and said, "What'd you do all day?" And I said, "I swept the floor." I said, "Look at how clean it is." And he told me, he's like, "You're lucky I don't fire you because I gave you a list of things to do, and you did the one thing that I didn't care if it got done." Hands to camera if you've ever done that before. You've noticed you did a lot of work, and the result wasn't what you were looking for. So we're going to be building a business plan, but not just the throwaway business plan, because most business plans don't get used. We're going to be building a business plan that includes actions, action steps, and the who to get them done. Because if you're the only person getting it all done, guess what? That's how you stay small. You've got to build a team. You got to identify who in the team will get the work done for you. And in the third piece, we're going to set some goals that are large by normal people's standards, small by a wealthy person's standards. We're going to talk about how to double your income, and that business plan will be designed to double your income. And then we're going to hypnotize you towards success. Hands to the camera if you've ever been hypnotized before. See one person who admits to it. For everybody else, you are hypnotized every single day. Every time you go and you pull up that phone and you do whatever you're told to do, every time you stop at a red light, every time you go at a green light, every single time that you have a conversation with somebody and you decide you must say please before you ask for something. Hands to the camera if you've ever done any one of those things. Welcome to reality. You've just taken the red pill. You've been hypnotized your entire life to do things, to conform, to think small, to think in reality. We're going to teach you how to break those rules. Did you know that analysis paralysis, that procrastination is a mindset? Has nothing to do with the real world, has everything to do with up here. So we're going to hypnotize you, should you choose to accept it, hypnotize you to remove procrastination. Hands to the camera if you know that would change your life in itself. That one piece being removed. Excellent. If that wasn't good enough, 100 Millionaire Summit, we'll be talking about cryptocurrency right at the end because we are a wealth building company. We're all about building wealth. So we will talk about the future of cryptocurrency. And I've brought my good friend who wrote the book, Scaredy Cat Guide to Knowing What the Heck Bitcoin Is. He'll be coming in to speak about crypto. And at the very, very, very end of the event, I will give you my prediction for real estate for the next year. With this prediction, you can in any niche make money. With this prediction, you can in any level of the game increase your odds because you'll have the unfair advantage. Chance to camera if you know you want the unfair advantage. Hell yeah. So then I will see you at the 100 Millionaire Summit because all the cool people will be in the room. It will be everybody. Oh, one last thing. At the very end of the event, after I give the prediction, I will be handing out a document, a contract, an agreement that you're going to make with yourself to commit to building your $1 million investment, to building your $1 million net worth. Hands to the camera if you know that's a good idea. Because what you commit to, you get done. Now, I won't be collecting those. It'll be a very personal document between you and yourself. And you'll take that home and you hang it up on your wall. And every day you look at it, you remind yourself of your commitment to your wealth. Hands to the camera if you know you're the only thing that stops you from your success. And you're also the only thing that's going to get you to your success. That's the truth. We built all of this for your success. Just you. That's it. You're very special to us. And like all the other investors in the room, hands to the camera if you're an investor, you want to buy real estate. We're lazy. So we want you to find the deals for us so we can buy deals without having to do as much marketing. Now, we can't buy all the deals. And so we bring other investors, friends of ours in here who want to buy deals as well in their markets. So if you identify that you're working in a specific market, now's the best time to drop it in the chat. Let us know what market you're working in. Let us know what type of properties you're hunting for. If you're a buyer, type that in the chat, say buyer, provide your information because obviously you want somebody to call you. You want somebody to send you a deal, email or phone number, whatever's best for you. And then if you're a wholesaler, type in wholesaler or real estate agent and type in your area. Please do not say I do the whole freaking country. There's nobody on the planet who does the whole country aside from Zillow and maybe the MLS. Even they break down by state. So commit to a small area, something that you know you can dominate. You can control that area and deliver if somebody reaches out to you. Hands to the camera if you commit. If somebody reaches out to you, you're going to do your best to help them make some money. Well, then we're all on the same page. We're on the same team. Elizabeth Miller and Kevin Pereira donate their time every single week on the phones. They commit to cold calling so that you don't have the fear of cold calling. There is one marketing strategy that beats all the other ones, and that's face-to-face contact, voice-to-voice contact. When you communicate with a person, you have more power to convert them over. When you send mailers, you spend more money than any other marketing strategy aside from billboards. When you go and you build a list, which is practically free, get it skip traced and make the calls, you will get a far higher return on investment than any other marketing strategy out there. Hands to the camera if you know that's true. Excellent. And there's also no more emotionally difficult strategy out there aside from door knocking. That one takes the cake. At least with the phone, they can't slam a door in your face. So with that being said, Elizabeth Miller, Kevin Pereira, they are the king and queen of cold calling. We often allow our members here to volunteer to cold call. If you decide it's something that you want to do live with us, by all means, always open to new guests taking the phones. And it will also help build your confidence. And if you are not dialing, listen for confidence. But the goal is next week, you dial with us. Hands to the camera if you commit to getting a list and making some calls. Elizabeth Miller, I'm going to let you introduce Nathan. Let's give Elizabeth a round of applause.
Thank you. Actually, I want to take a poll. Like, I see a lot of cameras off. How many people, is this your first time here? How many new people do we have? Who's met Gualter before? Who's met Nate before?
I'm new here.
All right. Welcome, Jennifer. Thank you. How'd you find us?
Just searched you guys up on the search bar. I was listening to Robert Kiyosaki Cash Flow Quadrant. I said, you know what? Definitely want to make money in cash flow. And I searched you guys up with wholesale.
Well, welcome. This is a great community, very safe. Ask your questions. We are go-givers. We help everybody out. We also have a Facebook page, so use the chat. I just want to remind you guys, use the chat because that's a great networking tool. You can download it. Most groups that do real estate investing, networking and communities like this, protect that, or they don't allow that. So that is, I think, one of the great things about this group. And we also have a Facebook group too. So there's more activity outside of just Monday nights, but we do this first hour is training. And so thank you very much, everybody, for joining us tonight. You're always welcome back. Today is a special guest, Nate. He's been here before. I am going to show my age a little bit. I've known Nate for over 20 years, right? Right, Nate? 20 years? That's a long time. He's a good family friend, but he's not just a family friend. He is a very good, well-seasoned investor, and I'm going to let him take it over.
Awesome. Well, glad to be here. Thank you so much, Brother and Walt, for having me here. So, regarding wholesaling, I've done a few deals over the years, and one, when you're getting into multifamily or you're really in any kind of bigger real estate project, there's always a barrier of entry. And Walt, you like to talk about that a lot. And for starting out, it can be kind of daunting. When I started, didn't graduate high school or college, not too proud of that, but did the Navy thing. I'm very proud to be a veteran and everything. But there's a lot of competition out there, as you guys know. And some of these big projects, the barrier of entry is really, really difficult. And so it's hard I learned early on, and you guys know what I'm talking about. It's getting started sometimes. And especially if you want to do larger deals, And so what I learned over the years is just trying to be as creative as possible. If you got the same strategy as everybody out there in your space, you are going to struggle. Wholesaling is tough. I don't care if you're wholesaling, a multifamily or single, whatever. You're dealing with a lot of competition, and you're dealing with a lot of competition because there's a lot of videos out there. Hey, you got no money, no job, no credit. All you gotta do is, get a house under contract, and you make 20 grand. And so you get, inherently, you're going to have all these people out there with absolutely, number one, zero business experience. I mean, I got to be careful what I say, but they're incompetent. They don't know what they're talking about. Okay. But they're polluting the space. And two, they don't know anything about real estate. Okay. So you've just got to own that. Okay. This is, when I started out a long time ago, wholesaling was a thing, but there's just not, wasn't, the market wasn't saturated like it is now. There's a lot of videos out there and so forth. And yeah, God bless them. They're just these people are trying to make a better life for themselves, but being a real estate wholesaler is tough. Right. And this isn't really, their best strategy. This isn't a good fit for a lot of people if they're not willing to, number one, know business, and two, hustle. Okay. So point is, you've got to be creative if you're going to be successful in this market. You just, in wholesaling period and in this market, where I'm at here in Idaho, the typical buy low, sell high strategy just will not work in this climate, and you guys are different markets. But I think, and I've talked to people all over the United States all the time, every day, and, market's pretty strong. Okay. And so you've got to be creative. And if all you've got is a buy low, sell high approach, works when it works. But I want to talk about being creative today. Okay. And so you're not leaving money on the table. Okay. Especially when you're trying to get some big multifamily deals. There's a lot of ways you can actually do this. And so one of the things I would actually, I was talking to Elizabeth about this was we're going to talk about what we call lot subordination agreements. Kind of a big word. Lot subordination agreements. Okay. And this strategy, I've used this strategy over the years. I bought multiple, believe it or not, I bought multiple subdivisions really without using my own cash this way. Okay. Powerful strategy. and it's it's not super sexy. There's not a whole lot of videos about it. You don't hear about it in seminars, whatever. But it's a very powerful strategy, and I think if you can understand how to leverage land, you can make an incredible amount of money in this business, particularly in your niche that you guys do in multifamily. Okay, so the barrier of entry, obviously, is whenever you get into any kind of big multifamily, especially big stuff, there's a lot of cash up front you need to have. Okay, and so, and if you want to get into being a land developer, right? Deep pockets. And here's the challenge. Okay, challenge is this. If you want to get into any kind of new construction, okay, you've got to have the land to build on and the build, right? And we call it vertical and horizontal. Okay, the horizontal is being the land, and so getting the build money, if you own the land, is fairly easy, fairly straightforward. Plenty of lenders out there that will do that. They see the value, okay. But the challenging thing is be able to get the land to be able to build on. Okay, it just really, because land costs money, right? And especially in the hotter areas, real estate's booming. Land costs money, and the hotter the market is, it goes up. So the challenge is you only have X amount. Anybody's got X amount of money at any given time, that they can leverage. Okay, so the power of a lot subordination agreement allows you to really blast through this whole barrier. Okay, and so we're instead of having the challenge is where you get the land and you tie up all your cash there. You tie up $200,000-$300,000 on the land. And then on top of it, you got to get a loan to build vertically. Okay, you can run out of cash really quick. Okay, so a lot subordinate agreement is simply this, where I'll just kind of give you the brief overview, and we'll talk about specifics. So essentially, where you talk to this, you're a problem solver, right? That's what this is about. But the other, cold calling, and why she's figuring out people got a problem, right? They have they want to sell a home. What's the solution to the problem? You proffer a solution. You make money. Okay. And in this strategy with loss subordination, you figure out what the seller's problem is, and you proffer a solution. Okay. It's always price or terms. That's it. Okay. I can give you cash now, real quick. Quick cash. Close quick. The whole thing. It's got to be at a discount. Okay. I'm an investor. That's what I do. Okay. But you want all the cash for your house, your lot, your multifamily, whatever. I can do it, but I can do it over a period, over time, right? And so in this scenario of a lot subordination, where you get, you essentially you tell the seller, look, you want all the money for your house, I'm trying to sell your land for $100,000. I can give you $100,000. Maybe I can give you $110,000. I can't pay you today, but I can pay you in 8 to 12 months. Okay, how so? A lot subordination agreement. And what the seller does, again, this is big picture here, and we'll talk specifics in a minute, where you tell the seller, okay, you're going to subordinate your interest in this property to me, okay, as an investor. I'm going to encumber this property with a first position or a senior debt build loan, okay? And once that's all done, the build loan, they're going to do the title report. They're looking at the commitment. They're going to see there's been a lot of subordination agreement signed and everything. Okay, it's all going to be done through escrow. Okay, we have title companies here. I know most of you got back east, you guys got your closing attorneys, but it's all done, copacetic, right? And once that's done, the senior debt position, the build money, $400,000 or $500,000, whatever the build thing is, it's the property's encumbered. It's been recorded. Title insurance is all been all sorted out and everything. At that point, then the seller comes on in the junior debt position. Does that make sense? Second position, if you will. Okay. And the terms of that second position loan is that the seller gets paid X when the house sells, or you're going to be more specific, like it'll be 12 months on this certain day, or that kind of thing, right? You might even sweeten the deal with some APR or something like that. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's how lot subordination agreement works in a nutshell. Lot subordination agreements are very powerful tools to allow you to really make good money in this business. So let's be specific here, okay? Now, by the way, I want to say this: if you're dealing with someone you really know, you're close to, and you can do things quicker with a quit claim deed. I've done that. With your friends, and you guys do a lot of business together instead of the whole lot subordination agreement. But so in case someone goes, hey, well, you can do a quit claim deed. Yeah, I know that. And that's one way, but we're not going to really focus in on that because most sellers that you talk to aren't going to be willing to quit claim their deed to you and allow you to do all that kind of stuff. Does that make sense? Okay. But yeah, you can do it if you know anybody of your friends. So anyway, but let's talk about the copacetic, the proper way to do the lot subordination group. So why is this important? Okay. Oftentimes when you cruise around, you're wholesaling, what are you doing? You're trying to find motivated sellers. That's the whole thing. That's what you guys do in your cold call. We're trying to find motivated sellers. And so if you have a strategy like lot subordination, you can find a lot more motivated sellers. Okay. It opens up so much more opportunity. So what does that look like? It looks like when you talk to a seller, they've got some land. If you can be a visionary and see what you can put on this lot, potentially you could turn this into a huge profit. Okay. For yourself, either you build on it or you can then offer that as a wholesale deal to a rehab guy, or not rehab, but a buyer builder. Does that make sense? Okay. Again, buyer builders, if he wants to, if he's trying to build a fourplex or an eightplex or that kind of thing, okay, he's only got X amount of cash. He just does, okay. And so if he's going to tap all this money in cash in the land, and then on top of it build, he can only do so many of those things. So what you're able to give your C buyer essentially, okay, is a way for him to leverage more of his cash in the loan. Okay. And so instead of having to come up with $100,000 in cash to buy a house, to buy a lot and then encumber it with the build loan and build like that, you're able to, he's not having to put hardly any money down. And so if you're in a position where you're wholesaling, you're working out the deal, okay, your wholesale fee could be substantially more than just a $5,000-$10,000 fee. Does that make sense? Because you're able to leverage, the seller essentially. And so what you're able to do is, hey, cash buyer, you give me $30,000, so you tie up $100,000, for this lot, and then build on top of it. You give me $30,000, or something like that, and then he's able to then get his loan, build. The sellers in a junior debt position, and then after it's built, then the cash buyer, your buyer guy, C buyer, can either then refi out the seller or pay him off cash, whatever. Does that make sense? Okay, so this strategy is a great way when you're looking at land. I mean, there's a lot of land out there. There's plenty of people are motivated to sell. Maybe some are more motivated than others. If you can offer them more money for the property, as long as the numbers work, it's a great way to go. So what does that look like? Okay. A couple things to know about. And this, I've just kind of given you the big 30,000 foot view of how this works, but you've got, it presupposes a few things. Okay. Number one, you've got to have a good exit strategy. Okay. So think about this. If you're talking to a seller, you've got to know what you're going to be building on that lot. Okay. That's the thing. And you guys, this Zoom calls is geared primarily for multifamily. So, if I was, you guys, if I was mentoring you kind of thing, I would say the first thing you want to do is you want to engender a good business relationship with builders who are doing multifamily. Okay. And you got to know, the builders, they know what sells. Okay. Because they build a lot, right? They're going to have certain plans that the cost per square foot is affordable, that works, in the math, that kind of thing. And that's what you want to figure out what those are. get a hold of some of those plans. Okay. And you leverage those guys as your cash buyers, not just, multifamily guys buying hold guys, but the builders who are either they'll build and hold themselves, or they can then sell those to, other buy and hold guys. Does that make sense? So you really want to know what that math is. What's the cost per square foot, okay, to build? Now, also, it's important to understand there's two things. There's two costs per square foot. The price per square foot, just a retail number. Does that make sense? Okay. Is it $200 a square foot, a brand new, fourplex sells where you're at? Maybe it's $300 a square foot, Okay. I remember back in 2008, we could buy them for like $30 a square foot. It was crazy, man. It was, and there are probably parts of the United States, maybe Mississippi or whatever, that you still can like that. But we're talking about properties that they're a little higher end, and that you can command a higher rate, the rents, and then depreciation, obviously. So, point being, the retail number cost per square foot for your multifamily is going to be different than the cost per square foot for your build. Does that make sense? It's important you don't confuse those things. Okay. If you do, you're going to be out of business real quick. And so you're talking about big money here, so you got to know that. Okay, so your cost per square foot for the build is got to be obviously less than your retail cost per square foot, because your cost per square foot for the build does not include, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, all your utilities, ingress, egress, that kind of thing. Okay, so those are important things to consider, and you just got to make sure that the numbers work. Just math, right? You still want to be at your cash buyers. Typically, you're going to want to be around 70-80%, maybe a little bit higher, because it's a brand new, multifamily unit. So you want to know what those are, okay? So to do that, you've got to build those relationships with your buyer builders. I mean, just really important to do that, and to know what they're building, and they're going to have already, plenty of property, not properties, but properties they built, but they're going to have plans on what works and what does. Does that make sense so far? Okay. So this is really how, and you can do the same thing with just single family too, because this lot subordination agreement, it can be on any kind of lot. Okay. So when you look at a piece of land, all right, you always want to say, what's my exit strategy? What can I put here? If you could get, maybe some land in the city, that kind of thing, where other multifamily is, zone for multifamily, what would be the best fit here? Maybe only a duplex or triplex might work. Maybe you could put in a fourplex, that kind of thing. But you want to know, number one, what you're going to be building there, okay, and have your realtor give you the comps. They know what the retail number for something like that would be, okay? And then do the math. What's it going to cost to build it? And what could you build, and have 2 or 3 different kinds of plans. And so once you have that information, okay, you've got some plans that you get the plans, you got photos before and after, not before and after, but after, photos of what it looks like. Then when you talk to the sellers, you can speak just as a professional. Like, this is what we're going to be building with this lot here. Okay. Trust me, I'm here to help you get that $150,000 for that lot, or $80,000 for your lot. Okay. This is, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, this is what we're going to build here. We're professionals, everything's going to be done completely, straightforward. We'll get, once C of O is done, we'll have this thing sold. And you're going to get paid as soon as we get done, because we're going to either refi you out, or we're going to sell it, to a big cash buyer, buy and hold guy. Does that make sense? Okay. So you want to have these pictures. You want to have the plans to the pictures. And what I've done too is oftentimes, when I'm talking to the seller, I'm like, hey, why don't you come take a look at what we've built before? Okay. Now, you may say to me, well, gee, Nate, I've never done this. Is really way over my head. I've never done any of this stuff. I get that. That's how I started out too, without doing all this kind of stuff. Again, this helps you with the barrier of entry for new construction, land development, things like that. Okay. So just because you have not done this before doesn't mean that you need to leave money on the table, because oftentimes you're going to get properties that this strategy will work for. Okay, there's vacant land. Okay, and so instead of just walking away, this is what you want to do. You want to get, number one, a good buyer builder that you can do this with, or a contractor. Okay. That's familiar with this. That's how I did it. I hooked up with a guy who's been building homes since when I was a kid, right? And so we connected. I did the work, right? Put it all together. He built the house, and then we could sell. Boom, boom, boom. Does that make sense? So I wasn't being a general contractor. I'm certainly not telling you that you have to be a general contractor. I mean, you can, if that's really, if you're really into it. But the thing is, it's, again, you want, what's wholesaling? Why? It's this arbitrage, right? It's putting the worms back in the can, right? It's connecting the dots, whatever you want to call it. That's what this is all about. This is getting a piece of land. A seller has a problem, okay? And what you're going to do is proffer a solution. Here's what we can do with this piece of land. You want to get $100,000 or 120,000? What if I give you, 10 grand above retail, but I have to give it to you in 8 to 12 months? And this is what we're going to do. This is my pal, George, who's a builder. This is what we're going to be building. He's built these things been building since the 80s. This is some pictures that we've done. If you want to come take a look at some of the stuff we've already built, come take a look. We're going to get this thing built. This is a time, our time frame. This is how long permits take. Well, how are you going to know all that stuff? Well, that's why you're going to be partnered with a good builder who's going to know this stuff. Okay. Now, this builder might also be a buyer builder. I mean, there's plenty of guys out there who are in this space who build and then cash flow. Okay, and those guys are there too. You just want to figure out what their business model is, right? If you find somebody like that, this is a very easy wholesale, because you just say, hey, I know what you're building. I know what you're looking for. I can get you this lot. I'll support. The seller is willing to subordinate. You give me a fatter fee, right? Because you don't have to use your own cash to take the lot down, right? And then the seller will get paid at the end of the deal. So that's how you do it. I mean, that's essentially a nutshell of the strategy. So a couple ones that I've done, like I've done a lot of this. I mean, a lot of houses like this. Okay, a lot, multiple subdivisions this way. Okay, in fact, I've actually done it with a bank. Okay. I'll give that example. I found a bank. Somebody had bought this subdivision, essentially, and it was acre. It was a rural, not rural, but it was on their acres. Okay, and so they didn't have sewer out there. It was all septic, and so the dude, who bought it, I don't know who it was. He really didn't do his due diligence very good, and so it turns out the district health department, instead of the $5,000 septic tank, wanted that whole $15,000-$20,000 aerated thing with the nitrates, and so the point is, instead of a $5,000-$6,000 septic tank, it was 20 grand plus. Does that make sense? All the lots were like that, and the math didn't work, and then he went belly up and the whole thing. So the bank takes it over and just having a hell of a time trying to get this thing sold. And so what we did was just said, hey, this is what I can do for you. This is what I'm going to build. This particular model of house is a fantastic house. I mean, we sell a lot of these, here's a bunch of pictures of them, come take a look if you want to. All right. And so they're like, yeah, okay. As long as, who's your contractor, what's the time frame, and all this stuff is all, written out. So on the purchase contract and all that stuff, this is who the builder is. Okay. This is our cost per square foot. This is what we're going to be building. These plans are included. You see, and the bank did a loss subordination agreement. Okay, so we came in with our build money. It wasn't the bank's money; it was a different bank, quasi bank thing. Came in there, encumbered the property. Title insurance. Everything, the whole thing for the lender insurance, lender's policy, and everything. And then bank comes in second position. Got the house sold, pre-sold it. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So these strategies are very effective to do. I did one on the golf course. Guy had all these. They thought they're going to make all these beautiful homes on the golf course, and they realized it was harder work than they anticipated. So we just started cherry picking, various lots there, and started to build. And once I did one lot subordination with when there's multiple different owners for these different lots. That makes sense. So I did a couple for one owner, and then people, the other owners in the area, like, hey, well, this he knows what he's doing. Hey, I'm interested in doing that as well, and so we just built the whole subdivision up that way. So these strategies are very effective. Okay, so bottom line, it allows you to get past the barrier of entry into new construction. Okay, and new construction multifamily, and two, any kind of land stuff. All right. It's you don't have to have, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to do this. Okay. And you don't have to have tons of experience. Like I started out, I didn't know how this worked. I just knew that I had a builder who could build the right price. I knew he could, they look good and the numbers worked. I did the math, right? You got to do the math. You don't do the math, you're not going to, this entire conversation is pointless. You got to do the math. You got to know, got to know comps. You got to know price per square foot. And if you do that, so much opportunity for you if you can understand how to leverage land. So houses look in real life? When you talk to a seller, you're doing your cold call, you're buying your list and all that kind of thing. Typically you're reaching out to multifamily, right? Is that correct? That's what you guys mainly do, the multifamily?
We do both. Depends on the areas. So there's still some, a lot of people just doing single family, and depending on the market, I'll do single family. I'm cold calling California. That's all single family because that's just the inventory. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so then this actually works great for single family. Okay. So you just want to reach out to the seller. However list you're getting, you're getting, vacant land or, just tired landlord, whatever list you get, start getting the vacant land ones, you can get expired listings of vacant land. You can withdraw on listings. You can pull them. I think PropStream, a lot of these softwares like, list source stuff, you can get vacant landowners and reach out to these folks and say, hey, I got a solution for you, and especially if you can show them that you're going to make something, really nice out of this lot, and they're going to make all their money plus. Okay. People agree. Why are you trying to sell? What's your situation? How come you got a non-performing asset of land here? Okay. A lot of folks that I have bought lots from have been either retirees, old folks. Okay. Or, LLCs, folks, guys get together, then you're going to invest in this land, and they realize, oh man, this is a little bit, we bit off more we could chew, we don't know what we're doing. And then, hey, I'll be your huckleberry, this is what you got to do. Okay. And just be confident, So how you can be confident again is engendering a good business relationship with your, buyer builders. Okay. Do that. All right. So the first thing is, understand what the seller's problem is and solve it. Okay. And how you can solve the problem is they want to sell their lot for X. Okay. Pay for hospice, pay for the Dream Cruise of Hawaii, pay for Joey's college tuition to Stanford. That's right. I said Stanford because me and Elizabeth from the Bay Area. But anyway, right. So, whatever the solution is. Okay. The second thing is you want to, like I said, build relationship with buyer builders. And so how do you do that? So, reach out and network with people, figure out who's, the one of the best ways to do this is build that relationship with your title folks. Okay. And back east, you guys have closing attorneys. Well, who are they networking with? Who's a buyer builder that they do a lot of closings with? Maybe they don't have, maybe your closing attorney doesn't have anyone that they work with per se. But who else do they know in an organization that you can do more closings together kind of thing? Title companies, same way. I can't tell you how much money I made by, my title gal is called, hey, let's go to lunch. This is guy, he's starting out. He's green behind the ears. He's real excited, blah, blah, blah. So we go to the pub and the guy tells me this is what I'm trying to do, blah blah. And I go, okay, this is how you're going to structure it. Do this, and this. He does it. We all make money, kind of thing. So title company is a great way to know who your buyer builders are, because it's going to be a niche. You got to have a guy that knows how to build spec homes. Okay, when I say spec homes, are you guys familiar with that term? It's speculation. It's not. There's a fundamental difference between those guys or that strategy versus somebody that hired Bob and Susie want to buy a brand new home, so that, build a home, their dream home. They, get on Google and then find out, builder, and they do all these plans, all this stupid crap, really stupid crap. I could not do that job. But anyway, they build this nice home, right? And then the builder charges them retail. That's not who you're looking for. You're looking for a guy who knows how to do spec homes. He's going to have certain homes that he sold, and they sold well. Like one of my guys, he's like, man, these things sell like hotcakes. These 3 or 4 floor plans. Okay, you're gonna have a 1,200 square footer. You're gonna have a 2,000 square footer, and a 3,000, maybe 1,800. You know what I mean? Same with multifamily. These multifamilies work really good. We have all the plumbing all lined up, so it's cheaper to build. Things like that. Okay, so you want to know who what they're doing, how they know this stuff. And then, so meet those guys, get to know them, and then, how busy are they? How quick, and you want to make sure too that they're solid. I mean, how they have assets. You don't want to start having some clown they're building that doesn't, he's not solving anything, doesn't have any assets, because if it turns out to be a lame ass and not finishing, then that's a real issue. But that's how you want to do it. Okay. So if you have a relationship with these cash buy, the buyer builder guys, you're so much more opportunity you can do. Okay, so you can either wholesale the deal to someone who's a buyer builder, okay, or you can leverage your contractor who knows how to build spec houses. Essentially build at a wholesale price, and then you can, once it's built, you can then sell that retail to your either an end user buyer for a single family, or somebody who's looking for a multifamily cash flow, and it's a brand new deal. Okay, so hope that's clearer than mud.
We do have a couple of questions.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I think Mark had a few, so Mark, go ahead and unmute your mic, and you can ask those if you don't mind. If he's still there.
Yeah, no, I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah. Good.
Great. Hey, Nathan, just if you could tell us about one of your first deals as you were kind of learning the ropes here. I certainly would appreciate that. And in particular, I'm not sure if you had a building or constructing kind of background, but how did you find your contractor? We all run across good ones and not so good ones. So that's one thing. And then also second question is with cold calling around land, are the objections different than what we would typically get when we're dealing with property?
That's a great question. How I started out is, I started out because I when I got out to Navy, I hooked up with this gal. Her dad was a land developer, so I started out doing land in the Sierras. So I really understood, understood how it works, build a big subdivision up there. So that kind of helped. I wasn't doing new construction, but just how land worked, who to talk to, all that kind of stuff. That was part of it. And then, I really wanted to do Ireland and stuff. And then when we came back, the market was really bad. So we started doing a lot of, fix and flips, short sale, all that kind of stuff, right? Distressed market. And no one was building. There's tons of, empty lots everywhere. Everyone's crying about how the market sucks and everything. So, just started doing the rehabs, right? Do a lot of rehabs, wholesaling and rehabs. Like that. Well, the market changed and people started building again. And I started my niche was, everybody that I knew, my colleagues, whatever, were here in Idaho. We're like buying just, carpet and paint, cosmetic stuff, hoping to make 20, 30,000 bucks. And that's, just impossible for me to compete. I didn't have the mojo. I didn't have the, I was a new guy. Okay. So what I did is I started getting into the hard stuff, just, do a lot of rural stuff, wells, septics, egress windows, doing additions to, maybe turning a garage into a living space, just all this gnarly stuff. Okay. Hard work. But I started making really good money doing it because no one else would touch these things. Okay. And so how I got in the whole land thing was I would get properties. And I remember looking at legal descriptions, and I have like 2 or 3 legal descriptions on the properties. All right. Has that happened to you guys before? That's powerful. You can do what's called a lot line adjustment. And I learned about this kind of stuff. And I learned just by hanging out with guys at title. I really did. And like, yeah, there's 2 lots here, So you got maybe an easement of 10 foot by 200 feet long. But you could do, it's a whole nother video, but you can do what's called lot line adjustments. You can make that 100-foot thing wider, fit 10 by 100 foot wider, so you can actually have a buildable lot on it. So that's how I started getting into that. I realized I had, instead of just, being able to fix one house, I'd have free land or relatively free land that I could build on. And so then I just started networking with other builders, like talking to them. What are you doing? What will you building per square foot? What have you done before? Again, what kind of assets you have. And Mark, you got a good point. Like, you got to make sure these guys got assets, because I had one dude in particular, man, and he drug his foot, drug his feet, and there's no, there'll be no title companies going to insure him probably the rest of his life, because he's a lame ass. But he didn't have any assets, and so there's no hook, there's no teeth to get the job done. So you got to make sure you want to find somebody like that. Okay, so yeah, just get to know what they built, what's their cost per square foot, who the generals are, maybe they're being a general themselves, whatever, and just spend time with that. Okay, then the second thing is objections. Yeah, objections are a little bit different. It's because they're not living there. Okay. And most of the time you'll hear, they're always trying to, they hear the market. So people have land. A lot of it's spec. Well, I heard that, my buddy, he got X, X amount per square, per acre, that kind of thing, or, 50 grand an acre, 200,000 per acre, whatever it is. So they're thinking like that. Okay. Again, they're not living there, which most of the time it's spec. Do I want to sell it now, or do I want to sell it later? And then you just want to figure out why sell it? Why not hold on for another 40 years? Inflation's going up. Just think how it'll probably worth $3 million, when you're 92, why don't you wait till you're 92? Well, I don't want to wait till I'm 92. Well, I'll go to Hawaii. Oh, Hawaii. Well, I love Hawaii. Did you know that? I love Hawaii. I'm so into Hawaii. My best friend Clayton lives in Kauai, man. We're about, we want to go to, Oahu. Oh, okay. Whatever. What if I can help you get there? Right? I got an idea. I want to help you, to show you, you're trying to sell your house. You try this land for, 120. What if this is crazy. What if I give you 150 grand and you guys could have the dream cruise, that kind of thing. Okay.
So if the seller doesn't have necessarily any out of the ordinary different objections as you would get on a regular, cold call for, a lot with a house on it, right? Are there any other considerations? Because I've come across a few of these deals that we haven't talked about that are either within zoning, right?
Yeah.
You can't do this or that because of the zoning is a certain way, or what was the other one?
That is a good objection. People put.
So it's not necessarily the owner, they want to get it done, but now you're dealing with the city, or you're dealing with, Yeah,
it's right. Great question. So that's a legitimate point. So what you got to do is you got to own what the problem is and how to solve it. And sometimes you can't. Sometimes you just can't solve it. Okay, but a lot of people, a lot of sellers, okay, I'm going to just say this. If you want to be a professional, okay, in real estate, you have to be a problem solver, period. If you can't solve problems, you're not going to be successful, okay? I think just like if you're going to be an auto mechanic, hey, my car doesn't start. Well, figure out what the problem is and solve it, okay? And a lot of people, I mean, I'm not a mechanic. When my car goes down, I, take it down and they sort it out. They fix that problem. That's not my thing, right? Real estate, I like solving problems, okay? So oftentimes when a seller says, hey, I want to do this, but there's all these problems, you listen, you take notes, you do some due diligence, and yeah, there's tons of problems, more problems you can even imagine. But guess what? There's always a solution. And like I said before, you put the worms back in the can, and you get paid to do it. And that's the power of this. And so if you can, leverage, so it's time or money, if you put the time into something like this, you can get really good deals without having to use a lot of cash, just because they're willing to subordinate the deal to you. Okay. Sometimes you can't help them. Sometimes there's nothing you can do without rezoning, without having to go, doing a whole, subdivision.
Yeah. I had just for instance, an example, because you don't know what you don't know. So as I was marketing, it was a pre-foreclosure list way back when they did that in 2019.
Yeah.
So the house was one lot, right? And that was, vacant. It was going through foreclosure, but adjacent to it, again, free and clear. So the owner actually owned two lots. The house was being foreclosed, but the second lot was what I guess was along a paper street. And so if you guys don't know what that means, essentially it's like the physical aspects of the land, like it was going down a hill, made it so that the regular street and the local city ordinances, as far as, having frontage to a house, didn't qualify that lot to be buildable. So yeah, there was plenty of space, but it like logistically, so I got to check back on that one, because that one didn't pan out for me.
Yeah,
but it was definitely a good learning experience.
Right, and you might be able to get a variance too, and that's a bunch of bureaucracy. So you just gotta figure out, is it worth the time, but sometimes it is,
Well, you're right. So it just goes to your point, right? You need to know the market you're marketing in, right? What are the regulations? Because they're going to be different in different city over or whatever. And if you can't get that information from the builder, then you need to know where to go. The city building department.
Exactly. I want to tell you what right now. Every municipality is completely different. I shouldn't say completely different, but it's different. Okay, and every county is different. But there's a lot of times you can still be successful. I think when I was first on here talking to Gualter, whenever it was a while ago, I was talking about some of these kind of creative strategies. And one of them that I love is when I've done it where the county is like, nope, you can't do it. You cannot split this down because it's split after 1979. So there, yeah. And it's not the answer I was looking for. When I looked, and it's in the city impact area. So what I was able to do is go to the city and say, hey, have I got a deal for you? You guys love all your taxes. Okay, how about this? I'll show you how you can start making an extra, $40,000 a year in taxes. And they're like, okay, what you got? So we annexed this lot into the city and split it, and they made a shitload of money on taxes and that kind of thing, right? So that was an example when we were able to just push through, and it was a big deal, big lucrative deal, So, and that was again pitting the city against the county. So, things like that you can do to help. Not every time. Sometimes the deal just sucks and you just walk, But
Christy did want you to expand a little bit more on the find contractor ? I think, Christy, did you want more information on how to find a good contractor?
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of like addressing that, but that's the hardest part here, is like finding a good builder contractor that can do the spec homes, like you're saying, seems to be kind of the key.
Yeah.
Nate, do you have, I know I do a lot of reverse prospecting, meaning I look at current projects and see how those are going, or you look at recent sold listings and kind of do some digging reverse searching. Nate, are there any other good ways to find contractors with associations or job boards or any go-to ways that you do your networking?
I assist people. I mean, I think you could do it to the, you know, you can get the contractors list and that kind of thing. But what I'm interested in is Chris. I think it's Christine. Was it Kristen? You want to make sure this person's solid, right? I mean, not just on paper. I mean, whatever. You know, you get some paper. Hey, you know, Joe Smith can build. You know, whatever. You want to know. Okay, what are you building? And so, yeah. But I do a lot like you're talking about. Like, I'm going to see who's building. Just really own the market. Like, who's building right now? Okay. Yeah, and yeah, good builders are hard to find. Certainly, just like good contract. If you trust me, getting a good contractor to rehab an old house, that's hard to do. I mean, a guy's going to show up on time and not be a drug addict or I mean, that's just the name of the. And realtors too, for pity's sake. Getting a good realtor to actually answer the bloody phone, that's hard to do. Without getting a root canal or taking off for the weekend to go hang out with the grandkids in Orfino with their phone off. I mean, so it's just like anything. You want to figure out who's in the space, what they're good at, what are they building, and hang out with other professionals. I think that's the biggest thing. I think a lot of people don't do. They who you hang out with, right? I mean, I something I had to learn the hard way. And Gualter's done some good videos on it. Like, who the hell are you hanging out with? I mean, you hang out with people that aren't entrepreneurs or not hustlers. It's hard to find somebody when you want to. So, I don't think there's an easy answer. Just give, I'm dating me here. Get the phone book and call or Google. But,
yeah, I think it goes to, just like what you would do it to vet a potential buyer, money lender, hard money lender. You need a set of questions you're going to ask them, and based on their responses, is that a good answer for you? You need to have them, hold them accountable for certain things too.
Right. Yeah, I mean, here's this is the dirty little secret about being a real estate wholesaler or being whatever, any kind of this thing. It's simple because you're not like you're having to dig ditches or you're having to find a cure for cancer, all that stuff. But what you got to do is you have to actually cold call like you're going to do right now. Okay, you got to work for it, right? A lot of people, they when they start doing this, they realize this is a lot of work. Yeah, there's some work involved, and it's not super hard, hard work, but you have to just keep pushing through. And so part of vetting people is you're meeting a lot of contractors. I mean, I didn't just magically meet a couple good contractors. I had to go through, some bad apples, real bad apples, till I found some good guys. And so I think this part of it just is knowing it works. Okay. And then just start looking, start researching, start talking, going with other professionals, go to the country club or something. I did that for a while, joined the deal and was meeting all these guys. I met some really good guys there, who are hustlers, to build good product, So that's what I would do. Yeah, they're hard to find. They're not easy. Getting a good professional. There's a whole series of videos on, like getting an A-lister, good best employee, best, guys I work with. Well, those kinds of guys are hard to find. But you just gotta know who's in the space, who the good people are, and network with them. So, any more questions?
I think I did have one that was in the chat that I did want you to answer. I'm gonna find it. Oh yeah. So maybe you're picking your market, or maybe you're not picking your market, but are there any things that you look for, path of progress to define, what's a good way to vet either the land or the area for that type of development? Are you wanting, like, I know for apartment buildings, like you want to make sure there's, jobs in the area, you want to make sure there's other regular commerce, but I know like some people that just basically wholesale land, they'll just wait for jobs to come there and like figure they're holding for a while. But with this niche strategy, you want to be doing the development like right away. So is there anything else that you look for to make it a good deal?
Well, yeah, great question. I mean, I'm comms driven. I just want to see what the market's doing, who's buying what, what's it selling for, how long is it on the market, who are the active agents. I'm talking about retail red agents in that space, and there always is. There's a handful, of the same person, same sign out. And I want to know what are they doing? What are they looking for? It's like so that's the thing. Like, understand that I'm not a retail guy at all. I've never been retail, but I know guys are good at the retail, and that's what you want to leverage. Like, what do you? And then you're not doing all the work yourself, because that's exhausting. Let them do the retail. I'll do the wholesale. They know what that is, and then
for market insight. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, are there any other questions for Nate about wholesaling? Hey, Clint.
For administrative lot splits, that's what we talked about that kind of last time. But
yeah, is that just basically a contract? I mean, I was here for it, and
administrative law split.
Yeah. Can you redefine that for me?
Yeah, it's different. It's that's an awesome niche too. Okay, it's like printing money. Okay, what you do, bottom line. We'll try that Facebook group just about that. Well, that and lot subordination. Those two are awesome strategies. Really helped me get into the whole land and new construction area. But essentially, administrative lot split is key. It's you're splitting land at the administrative lots level. Okay, so if you're going to get a subdivision, whatever, it's full blown. You guys have seen subdivisions. Probably some of you live in subdivisions. It's a pain in the ass to do. There's a lot. You have to have deep pockets. You have to have a preliminary plat. You got to, it's an idea. We talk to the city or the county. You have to get an engineer involved, all stuff, and it's a crapshoot. And they either like it or they don't. Then they're going to have a big hearing, and then the neighbors come around and complain, and whatever. And then finally, you get a final plat, and they'll raise their hand, and you get approved. You made it. If not, you're out. $1.5 million kind of thing. Okay. So that's how subdivisions are made. Great money when you do it, when they work, it's awesome. And I'm really simplifying the process, and I've done that big expensive process before. Okay, administrative lot split is none of that crap. Essentially, you have a house on some land. Okay, it doesn't matter how big the land is, within reason. Okay, and what you do is you go in there and you subdivide the lot. And you do it at the administrative level. Yeah, there's an application that the planning and zoning has, okay, developmental services, and they're gonna know about. We can do a whole video on this one. I got a whole bunch on my Facebook page, but essentially, they want to know where your utilities from, where your ingress, egress, road frontage, all that kind of thing, right? And so they allow you to just split the lot in half, and you can do this in with acreages. I've done it on a 50-foot by 140-foot house, and then a piece of crap house I bought on Craigslist, no less, right? And I mean, I'm making probably $200,000 in that deal, $200,000.
Oh.
It had an old piece of crap shed on it. Moved the shed out and built a little. And I knew a spec home that we could fit on. It's a little 1,200 square foot house, the garage is underneath and it was built on top. But yeah, things like that. So the beauty of it is the administrative part, because as long as it fits the parameters, you just split it, and they approve it right there. Some bureaucrat with the extended dental insurance, the 401k plan stamps it, and you just made $60,000 on a buildable lot. And then again, you use the same strategy. Now you own it, right? Then leverage it, build, and then sell it retail. So, yeah, awesome strategy. Does it work all the time? No, but it works a lot. I always look at that. Can I split this? Even lot subordination agreements. When you look at it, could I split this lot? Is it eligible for it? And you might. Maybe it is. Maybe it's original parcel, and that kind of thing.
It's a great tool to have it in your tool belt when you're thinking about different exit strategies for wholesale assignment or even fix and flip deals. Yeah,
because there's extra $50,000 to $100,000 in it. I can't tell you how much money I left on the table until I realized, about a decade ago, like, oh man, there's so much money I could have made. Right.
So Nate, if we have more questions for you later on, what's the best way to reach you? Can you drop something in the chat?
Yeah,
For the people that came in later?
Yeah, I'll do my here's my face here. I got a certain somebody's brother just made me a beta website that I'll show you. It's what is it called? Lots. Bear with me, I apologize, I'm not very professional. WholesaleLand101.com, and then I'll do my Facebook page. So wholesale.
All right, yeah, drop it in.
Land101.com, and the Facebook page or group rather. It's
I could drop it. I think it's on my.
Yeah, wholesaling real estate to administrative law schools. Yeah, so just come on there, and there's a lot of resources, a lot of videos I've done on this, and interaction, that kind of thing. And yeah, so yeah, anytime you guys need help or you want to talk, strategy session, et cetera. Yeah.
What was it again? I think I'm not finding it.
I have a question, Nathan.
Oh yeah, I found it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. So what criteria would you use as a new investor to a virtual wholesale in a different market than what you live in?
I can answer if you want. Yeah, go ahead. Say the question again.
Okay. So I said, what criteria would you use to choose a market to virtually wholesale in?
Well, that's a tough. I mean, not a tough question. There's a long answer for that one. But
okay.
Number one, the biggest thing is if you want to do virtual wholesaling, it's wholesaling. Is tough enough as it is. When you add the virtual aspect to it, it exponentially makes it harder. I'm not saying you can't do it. People make tons of money doing virtually. The first thing I would say is you've got to get your team that's virtual. You got to get boots on the ground, okay? And I'm serious as a heart attack. The way to be successful in this business is a good title person. You got to get, and if you're closing attorney state, and get a good closing attorney that can give you information on properties. Because like the stuff I'm talking about, you can make good business decisions. But you have to know, you need to have information on properties. You need to have plat maps, legal descriptions, parcel numbers, title searches, things like that. And then a good realtor, okay? And then you're gonna have to have somebody that can look at the stuff that you can trust,
Okay.
So you want to be able to vet them, That's the thing. Just because you saw them on Craigslist and they'll take a picture of the house for $200.
Okay.
Really?
The reason I mention it because I'm from Illinois, and as you know, in Illinois you can't wholesale any longer. So I was looking for a.
What's stopping you from getting your real estate license?
Yeah, or can I proffer a solution for you, my friend? And I'm serious. This is great. Listen, if you know a cash buyer, okay. Your solid cash, whatever, I would find your cash buyers and then get an LLC, and every offer you put in, let it be in that LLC, and you're a member of it, and you can get a consulting fee from that LLC when it closes. Does that make sense? I'm not an attorney. I'm not going to give you legal advice here, but I've done that many times. Okay, that's what I would consider that.
So
that would really help you.
I'm sorry. So just get an LLC and put all.
Junior buyer, right? So the reason why Illinois did that is just like I was saying in the very beginning with Gualter. Like, man, there's all these people out there. Ain't no money, no job, no credit. They want to, make, you get a house on a contract and you make 20 grand. And so there's all these people out there getting property on the getting equitable interest in properties, and they got no cash buyer. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They're just complete morons. Okay. And Illinois got sick of it. So the city of Philadelphia. Okay. So they passed a law. They don't want this kind of stuff happening.
Well, yeah.
What you're saying is I want to be a professional, and I appreciate that. I mean, I want to be we all, I think that's what we're all here, right? So as a professional, what you do, I mean, there's nothing wrong. I mean, Illinois still sells houses to cash buyers, right? So what you do is whoever your cash buyers are, you guys, and you're gonna put offers in with an entity, whatever. So you form an entity, LLC, what have you. Okay, you're both members of, and that entity is putting in offers 123 Main Street, 653 Birch Street, that kind of thing. And then your cash buyer, he's going to fund it. He's got his proof of funds because that's why he's a cash buyer, right? And he can pay you, consulting fee from that LLC. Does that make sense, Timothy?
Yes, sir. I got it.
That would help you, I think. It really would, because virtually, I'm not saying you can't, but it's just harder. There's no shortage of deals you're at, man. No shortage of deals.
Okay.
It's going to be creative. And then the beauty of it is because of that law, your competition is going to be a lot less because everyone's scared to be a wholesaler. Okay.
But you can still have your real estate license and still wholesale too. So
Yeah. Sure. Do that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm personally averse to get my real estate license because it's just another level of shenanigans.
Another level of
And I
shenanigans.
got enough shenanigans. Trust me. I've got 4 kids and everything.
All right, Nate. Well, thank you so much for
Thank you.
bringing all the valuable advice and your experience and teaching us this lesson.
Yeah,
Welcome back
glad to hear it.
anytime. Yeah.
Yeah, join the Facebook group. Learn a whole lot about these kinds of strategies. And if you need any help, just give me a call and I'll walk you through it. All right. God bless and Godspeed.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Cheers.
See ya. All right. So now it's about 6:16. So are there any other questions or roadblocks? I know we have we have some new people here. So I like to ask, are you guys comfortable with your list? Do you know how to pull lists? Do you know how to network? There's a lot of information out there and everyone's coming from different places. But if you guys are ready to start calling, we can hop in and start calling too. So let me close some menus here. Okay, so what do I have loaded up here? I'm going to hop into my Florida list. So this list is small multifamilies, and I've got two. Let's exit this one. So I got 2 markets here. I've got Orlando and Tampa. And I haven't done a full cycle yet, so should be mostly first calls for everybody. So there's a question in the chat, where do you pull the best foreclosure list from? I'm not sure how to answer that question. I think there's some third-party services that you can go to. I don't know those off the top of my head. I know we do have a wholesaling guide that has some of those resources on it. You could probably do a Google search and find it. In Massachusetts, I know how to go direct. It does, vary state to state. And then Donna Miller has a question too. So if you want to drop it in the chat, I think I'm on my dials. It says available. When pulling lists, what do some of you do to ensure you're not skip tracing the same address? That is really good. Good data in, good results out, right? So there is a technique. Hello?
Please leave your message for
Bye in a second.
813-767-2486.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. So now I'm getting an incoming call. Voicemail. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hey, this is Liz. How's it going?
Liz with what?
You called. Hello?
Maybe it's wrong.
You're calling me back? Oh,
You are now connected to the predictive dialer.
I couldn't tell which screen I'm in. There's two. It's inbound. That's a man's voice. Okay. Okay. So,
Organic turf.
I'm sorry, what did you, did I call it turf company?
Sure, yes, this is my organic turf.
Oh, hi. My name's Liz, and I'm looking to build my network of industry professionals. I'm an investor. I'm not sure.
I think you may have the wrong number, Liz. Yeah, this is my organic turf. I wouldn't even know how to put you in touch with. We're a large franchise. I don't even know who to even.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, probably wrong number.
Sure. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Liz.
All right, take care. So list management is really important, and that's something that I'm cleaning up and learning myself. Oh, that's a fax number. So you can manage your list by doing a technique called list stacking, and just having it formatted right. So you want to be sure that you're, pulling your list the same way. If you get it from different places, you might have to do that manual. You can either do it or get a VA to clean that up for you, but that is part of the process. There is another service that kind of does that for you if you're scaling up to a larger level and want to pay for a monthly service. Okay, fax. Oh, this one was the other one. Sam, I think you are muted. I don't know. You show muted on my screen. Thanks, Donna. Yeah, check out. There's some YouTube videos. I did post a while ago in the wholesaling bootcamp, that Facebook group. If you just do a search on list stacking, I think there was 2 videos. You should find one of them. It was pretty thorough. I think they did a good job, but there might be more out on YouTube, or do a Google search. But basically, it's being able to work in Excel. You could search things a couple of different ways. Highlight cell rules is one way. And then there's some other ways with pivot tables.
Por favor, deje su mensaje
that
para
is,
7.
I don't speak Spanish, so I put them on a different list. So these dispositions, I can update it, I can customize it, and I'm still fine tuning my backend systems and process. But I know my list will have Spanish speaking and Portuguese speaking. So I put a disposition. So that's going to go through a second or a different sequence path of follow-up. So I just separate it out from my other list. And that's the idea behind using an auto dialer or systems like Call Tools, is you can kind of condense that right list and focus some of that marketing. So it's really good to know what kind of data you're pulling. And these lists, again, I'm getting better at it, but these lists are essentially a high equity list, whether they're single family, absentee owner, or owner occupied. That's the way I basically pull it. I'm I'm going to be updating my system and process to include other types of list for, you know, seller motivation, like you know, tax liens or code violations, things like that. So I will be updating how I do some of the messaging kind of going forward. But the dispositions and in the back end, the way I have it is it will set a series of text messages as follow-up to, and a sequence of how quickly they come up again in the next call cycle. So Donna has a question or a statement, a few different sources, prop streams, county records mainly. Yeah, that's a great source. I don't have prop stream. I use RealFlow for my CRM, so I can pull based on geographical region, based on owner to a certain extent. I don't think I have all the bells and whistles, but Freedom of Information Act, if you utilize that and you go to local cities and municipalities, you can pull certain lists or do records requests that way. And then again, you're going to overlay your list together to see what properties match up on multiple different lists, and then you're going to want to target those types of owners. Call them, text them, you know, go if you're not working a virtual market, like I'm in Massachusetts and I'm cold calling Florida, so I would send somebody else my boots on the ground that way, or, you know, do it yourself, driving for dollars or door knocking style. So good comments. Okay, so outgoing. So I do have a template that, you know, I could maybe copy and paste and do a text message in Spanish, but I'm just going to keep going with it.
You have reached Elizabeth McAndrew Davidson. Please leave a message and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you.
Hi, Elizabeth. This is Liz, and I'm with Metro Units. We're investors. We're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. So that is probably a wrong number, but maybe she owns it. I don't know. Gotta verify different names. I got all these windows that are on top of each other. Yeah, check out a company, REI Skip, I think. I just signed, or REI Sift. I literally signed up for it last night, so I'm still working. I've got a lot of different lists and a lot of different areas, and I want to like really, hello?
I'm unable to answer my phone right now, so please leave a message. Thank you. No puedo contestar esta llamada. A favor de dejar un mensaje. Gracias.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. So I'm still leaving voicemail messages because the way skip tracing is done, you know, it could be husband and wife on the deed, but husband name shows up and then the phone number is for the wife. So I don't know unless I have a conversation and verify. So I just leave messages and try and reach out until you can get somebody. Okay, Donna asks, do you use the AI detector when using the multiple dialing? Mixed reviews on that AI. I think this is set up to get voicemails. That's my ultimate goal. Is you can do, I forget what it's called, but you can have it. It's like a predictive dial. It'll predict when the phone number will transition to that voicemail beep. So it'll try and get you live on the call before that. So you can leave a live voicemail message, and that's what I'm doing. So you can throttle that. You can change how the auto dialer works. This is the way I like to use it. I want to get as many touches to my list as I can. Let's see, what is this? This is, no, that was, I'll have to find. I'm sure if the REI SIFT, if you just do a Google search, you should be able to find them. But I have skip tracing service where I'm pulling 2,000 hits like a month basically. And I've got a lot of different markets, and I'm coming to the place where I've been doing this, for a while, that I need to, add another layer to my list. And that's going to help me do it without manually doing the spreadsheets. But if you're just starting out, start out the right way. Pull the list, get them in there, kind of consolidate it, and just go after the hot stuff. Gualter always says, results may vary if you don't follow the advice. So my results are varying. No, I'm just kidding.
Are you gaining any traction on your South Florida list?
I had a few people kind of express interest, but everybody wants market price, market retail, so.
Hello, this is Bernie with Mesh Architecture. Please leave me a message and I'll return your call. For a faster response, feel free to send me a text. Thank you.
Hi, Bernie, this is Liz, and I'm an investor. I'm looking to network and build out my vendor referral list. So just wanted to have a conversation with you, see if you work with real estate investors. I do a lot of fix and flip projects and some buy and hold renovation aspects. So if this is something worth exploring for you, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. Okay. So now, I asked him, I could leave it on a voicemail message, but I do have a sequence that says add to vendor list. So instead of having the messaging go out, hey, we want to buy your house, we're investors, it would say something a little bit different, because I've identified this just based on the outgoing voicemail message, that maybe he's not really a seller, and maybe I want to try and start that conversation with a business relationship aspect first, and then if he has some property to sell, that's the bonus. So I'm going to put him on another set of sequence. So that's the benefit of having different dispositions. It kind of automates the follow-up based on what you defined previously, or what I did. Or you can do that, yeah.
After you go through your list, do you sell them?
Do I sell the list? That's an interesting question. I haven't had people approach me wanting to buy my list, but I haven't advertised it either. I think for me, I'm in it for the long haul, right? I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to put in best practices. And so I'm building a big machine. And even if I don't get a response now, today, 6 months, a year, if that property hasn't sold, then it's still a viable lead. You know, it's just the messaging. Yeah. And that's why I want to recycle the list to touch them and put a different messaging in front of them. So I have different text messages, but a lot of these voicemails are the same because everybody's at the same stage. I would imagine, because I'm, I have a sales and marketing background, that as I have these different conversations and sort of interview, and I think about, well, what is the right messaging that's going to get this owner's attention, and have that conversation. It's kind of that lead nurturing aspect. And what are the pain points? What is the right message that's going to get them to pay attention to me, really, and have that conversation. And then so all of that goes in a again, this is a bigger list. It's again finding the needle in the haystack, but once it kicks up a viable lead, then that lead goes into my CRM system for a little bit more oversight. The job of an auto dialer is just to get a live call teed up to you or a VA or whoever's on it. And so then you have that conversation. Now, it's not always a productive time to have that conversation, and so you have to have a system or a way to be able to follow up with them and not lose sight of that. So part of it is, again, kind of the back end office of this auto dialer, how I put it, the sequencing of the campaigns, like what I do when. And I'm trying to figure that out and build it out. And so right now it's just the amount of calls that come up and when they come up, and the amount of messaging of the text messages. But there's still a lot more that I could be doing within this dashboard to kind of build it out. So emails, if I get that permission and that aspect from them, and then again, identifying somebody to reach out to. And that's why I signed up for REI Sift, because you can see which numbers haven't produced any contacts with which property addresses. So they essentially haven't really been touched. And so that's some visibility that you would want to see to reach out to them, either with a mailer, so it's targeted. It's not just this blanket, because I could spend, like, the last mailing I did was like $500 in postcards. So you could be, wasting money doing that too. And I want to be, more efficient. So kind of kicking up leads as they come, just with the dials, but then looking back at the data and seeing how I can reach people that I don't have good information for, or doing a deeper dive skip tracing on them. Does that make sense?
Okay. Do you ever try, if you find out if they don't have if you find out that they don't want to sell their property, ask them if they need a loan?
If they need a loan, I haven't asked that question. I do approach it with basically the 3 no's sort of response. So, have you thought about selling? No. All right. Do you know any friends or family that would benefit from selling? No. Okay. Well, as a real estate investor, I don't need to buy today or right away. This is usually how the progression of the pitch goes. I set aside $1,000 in my marketing budget. If you connect me with a seller or an owner, they sell, I buy, we just pay you $1,000. So that's like a bird dog fee, or that's what people call, having a bird dog. Now, sellers or owners, that might not perk them up, but a lot of times you're getting wrong numbers anyway. So what's the harm in putting that out there? But so you're saying the thought is, what would benefit them if they need a loan, I guess, because a lot of times these are high equity lists. They're like, nah, I don't want to move. This is my forever home. We're good. Could be the list, right? Each list might want a different solution.
Okay.
So are you approaching that loan aspect with the assumption that the house is distressed and they need to fix it up, or what?
Well, I was thinking the property that I'm looking at, okay, are distressed, that if they don't want to sell and they don't want to buy anything, maybe they need a loan, maybe it could be, even if they want to stay there forever, if they're elderly, maybe they need cash for medical bills, redo their house a little bit, put in a walk-in bathtub type of a thing, remodel, something to make them more comfortable.
Yeah, I think I hear where you're going, and it sounds very interesting. You may not get that type of conversation on a first cold call. People just don't open up that way. But if you're willing and determined, like, this is my property, I'm going after, like, ride or die, that's something that I would approach after you've reached out and they seem receptive to it. You have to build the rapport. You have to establish yourself as an industry professional or credible, show your credibility. And so again, some of the ways you build rapport quickly is by telling stories or saying how you've helped other people, other owners in the past that are similar to their situation. They can relate to that. Now it's not going to happen all the time, but I'll throw it out there, that, I'm just looking to connect with owners that are open to a conversation, very, very non-threatening, non-pushy, not really salesy. It's giving them back kind of the decision-making power. And just, you're just offering up, do they want to go down this path with you or not? It's okay, but you want to show them the what's in it for them and kind of give the situation, just the emphasis or the, you want to at least put it out there. Yeah. But
Okay.
yeah, that's why I say, I have these conversations all the time, and that's why I want to build up vendors too. You can give them referrals. I'm not going to be directly involved, but hey, Mr. and Mrs. Owner, if you need a handyman, I talk to a lot of handyman, or if you need this or that, real estate agents do that too. It's not uncommon to, offer that up. The other thing I like doing is to, ask for permission to check back with them in the future, or at least try and set that expectation. And you can get market information. Somebody was mentioning, working a virtual type of market. These owners, these people that you're calling, the people on the other side of the line, if they're open to having a conversation and giving that kind of information, they could be a valuable, resource for information, give you insight to, what's going on in the neighborhood. And that's, again, if you present yourself and, we do real estate investments to, provide, good quality housing and clean up neighborhoods. Who wouldn't want that? I don't know. So good questions. I think there's some more stuff down here. Yeah, depending on the motivation and situation, absolutely. Give them a benefit, absolutely. So what do you do or use for deeper diving or advanced research for numbers and or mailing address with a large list? That's a good question, Donna. That's why I signed up for IDI Data. It's one skip tracing service. There are many skip tracing services out there. So that's one way to do it. I pull on demand, like a bulk list for phone numbers, and it gives me emails and all that if it's available. But then I also have another portal access. It's a separate, deeper search, and it's like on demand too, but you pay as you use it. And it's not that expensive. It's like $1 a hit. So it will pull record information for that based on that owner name or address that you put in. You could do it either way. Then it'll also give you relative information and or business. So you really have to be vetted as a business. be good standing. I have an LLC, so it was just a process that their service process that they have, really. And so so you could do that on demand and get a lot of information there. But if you're just starting out, you've got a list that's 50 to maybe 100. You can use True People Search. And then I like cross-referencing between social media and other types of things. If you've got a certain amount of information, just throw it in Google. That's the crazy thing about the internet. There's so much really just out there if you go and look for it. So that's how I found mine. Public records, I mean, tax assessor's office will usually have who the owner is. And then if it's vacant or you have a hunch that it might be a probate, do the name with a search for obituaries. Sometimes you'll get extra names from that as well. I think I answered the question. Yeah, IDI data. Yeah, I'll throw, I've got let's do a link tree. So that's the link tree. And then this is, I rearrange this every once in a while. Skip tracing. Oops, wrong menu. There it is. So that's what I use. You just fill out a little form here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I'm still fine tuning my process, but I picked up a lot of good information from, different meetups, different groups. So, yeah, keep looking. If you don't have the right answer that you want, just keep looking for it, asking good questions.
To an automatic voice
Hey,
message
Mario.
system. 1-338-970-96 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. Oops. So as I pull my information, it has different things. It'll give me info on. So is this an individual or is this a business or this is owned by a trust? I try and filter out anything that's government owned. It's not quite my ideal seller, I guess. But yeah, I had like 2,000. So I really need to hit this list hard and just get through it and then recycle it, meaning any of the DNCs, any of the fax numbers, any of the don't call me ever again kind of people, they're already off that list. And then I'm calling and reaching out again for the people I might have, had a drop call on, wasn't able to leave a message. I mean, it'll keep the people on there too, the ones that I left messages with, but it is a big, hello?
Please leave your message
It's a
for
big list, and so that's something I need to get better about, being diligent in getting the dials. Hi, this is Liz with Metro Units, METROUNITS.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. So these lists, They could be a small multifamily, they could be a little bit bigger, but I have a different service that will give me access to 50 units and up. So that's a little bit different conversation and more networking with, brokers and property managers. So voicemail. These are, more like duplexes and smaller multis like that. Oh, thanks, Donna. You're welcome back anytime. We should have had the Facebook page in there, so join the group and you can, make comments throughout the week. Okay.
Hello, we are not available now. Please leave your name and phone number after the beep. We will return your call.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units, METROUNITS.com. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. Okay. So the reason why I'm leaving my phone number too is because the auto dialer has Florida phone numbers, but I want kind of priority for any calls coming back to my Google number. So that'll get to me. Otherwise, it's like basically a voicemail service through call tools.
Customer you are attempting to call has not activated their voicemail box. You will not be able to leave a message at this time. Thank you. Goodbye.
So I'm just gonna mark that no answer because there's no way to leave. So these, they popped up, but really no contact with this one. Mario, you're funny.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 646319904.
This is an out-of-state owner.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. Yeah, they're in New York. So I'm writing myself notes so I can leave a slightly different voicemail message the next time I come up to it if needed. And at the end of the day, when I'm done with my call session, I can export any of these notes in a CSV file or Excel file and have those. So if I want, I could segment some of that list and dump them into my CRM, right away. Hello?
Hi, this is Steve. Sorry I missed your call. Leave your name, number, and the time that you called, and I'll get back to you just as quickly as I can. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Hi, Steve. This is Liz, and my phone number is 857-600-2370. Again, Liz, 857-600-2370. Right now it's about 6:56 and was just looking to have a conversation with you. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. So if you're open to offers or know someone who is, just give us a call or text. Again, 857-600-2370. Thanks. So I got a little bit of feedback from how Steve left his, voicemail message, the outgoing message. So I just customized my message kind of to what I thought was his pace, and like literally what he said to do. So maybe that's being too detailed, but hopefully it gets me attention and a call back. So that's a good number for Steve. Now when I come back to this record, so it'll, Call Tools will save that under this notes where it says systems here, recent notes. So I'll know I can leave a message again with Steve or just say, hey, is Steve there, without having to kind of reconfirm that on the fly. So just, make good notes for yourself. If you're going to be taking long call sessions, take good care of your voice. Me. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Jim Dean or beer is nice. It's how you take care of your voice, Mario. It's a good way. I prefer margaritas.
Hi, the person you've reached is using a screening service from Google and will get a recording and transcript of this call. Go ahead and say your name and why you're calling.
Hi, this is Liz. I'm with Metro Units. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. 2370. Again, this is Liz. Call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. See, just like that. Sorry. Oh, see, I had my screen was too long. I couldn't see these notes down here. 7-9, well, something might have changed. Thought about selling your property in Bombay. Okay, maybe not. Okay. Put it on a different, so the not interested will get follow up further out. So I want to connect and see if they know anybody in the area that's looking to sell or know of any, for sale by owner signs or dilapidated properties.
Hello.
Oh, hi, this is Liz. How's it going?
Good.
I just wanted to check, like I said, my name's Liz and I'm looking to connect. Are you Julio?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm looking to connect. I'm an investor. I'm looking to connect with owners that would be open to an offer on their property. Have you thought
Yeah,
about?
but I don't have any property for sale.
Okay. Are you a landlord? Are you an investor?
No, not any of that.
No? Okay. Well, do you know anybody who would benefit from selling, like friends or family or somebody, maybe a house on your block?
You say selling a house?
Well, selling a house or some situations, like as an investor, our goal is to improve neighborhoods and properties. And so some houses just are sitting vacant, or some houses, have, property maintenance that needs to be done, and yet the owner isn't able or capable of doing it. And so sometimes what we do is just work with those sellers and kind of take that problem property off. No, see, he wasn't interested. Okay. Not interested. Okay. Well, it's okay. I've got a lot of calls to get through, and if they're not interested, they're not interested today. That doesn't mean it will change or it won't change in the future. In the meantime, I want to connect with people that want to have a conversation.
Hello.
Oh, Peter?
Hey.
Hey, this is Liz. How's it going?
Huh?
My name is Liz. Did I catch you at a bad time? I realize it's evening.
No, good time.
Good time? Okay. Well, like I said, my name is Liz. I'm an investor, and mostly I'm looking to network or connect with owners. Have you thought about selling your property?
No, man.
Okay. Are you
Yeah.
are you a landlord by chance?
No.
Okay. Well, do you, as an investor, it doesn't need to be today or right away, or even you. Do you know anybody who would benefit from selling a property? Friends, family, or
No,
neighbors?
not right now.
Not right now? Okay.
No.
Well, would it be okay? Just keep me in mind. What we do is
Yes, sir.
we set aside $1,000 in our marketing budget. So if you're able to connect me with an owner, they sell, I buy, I would pay you $1,000 for that.
All right.
Okay. Well, I'll check back in a month or so. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Take care. Bye. Okay. So for that, I just leave, well, I'm going to have to find another disposition, I think. But for the way it's sequencing, I'm still going to put not interested just because it'll space it out that month. And then I'll make notes here, because I confirmed his name. This is a good number for Peter. And so the bird dog fee. Okay. Now, I could have, given my phone number. He seemed like he wanted to get off the phone, which is fine. If this is an SMS enabled number, my backend system is set up to have him send a text, so he'll get a number from me, and it's in his phone. But it's the call tools number, so I'll have to check back and give him my Google or my local business number. So.
Is this a single family or multifamily list you're hitting right now?
This Florida should be just multifamily is how I pulled that list. I have another, the Merritt Island one is kind of more personal. It's single family. It's like where I want to buy. So this list is Tampa and Orlando, and I basically pulled it. It's hard for me to pull like larger multifamilies. That's why I got a different service, but I think there might be like one. Hello?
You have reached Kelly Foster with Remax Blue Water. Please leave a message
like
at
an
the
agent.
tone and I'll call you back soon. Have a great day.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Kelly, my name is Liz, and I'm an investor. I'm looking to network with other agents and brokers that are active in the Florida market. I'm looking for my next investment property. If you know of someone selling, or if you're open to a conversation with me, we can get a buying criteria put together. Call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. Now, she could be an investor herself too. I don't know. I mean, obviously this list I pulled based on equity and the fact that it's multifamily in the area I want to invest in, but I'm okay with just starting the conversation with, that agent. So now, and obviously the name is a little different too. So could be a change number, but I'm sorry, Clint, what question did you, I forgot the question.
Oh no, it's all good. I was asking, was this a single family or multifamily, but you've answered that already.
Yeah, sometimes they're owner occupied. Sometimes like I didn't do a good enough job cleaning it up before I had it skip trace and just uploaded it, because I noticed, I was like, oh, that's probably maybe a condo. So in the property record cards, however, the data has come through, was flagged as a multifamily, but I mean, technically it is, but it's a condo, so I may not, want to buy an individual condo. And so I might need to clean it up. But this one, it could be a small duplex. So it is absentee owner. So I'm going to have to just pull this up, St. Cloud, and see what it looks like. So that's it's actually, okay. Sometimes I do this. Okay, see what it looks like. It actually looks like it got flipped. Good landlords. Okay. So they must have already flipped it. And I can check again on that one, but because this list, yeah, They must have, yeah, so it's sold in 2015. So that's why it came up on my list, because it hadn't changed hands. But they must have done a burr or something like that on it, and now it's just a rental property for them. So looks like they're good landlords, but maybe not this deal. Maybe they want to be added to the buyers list. Like, I don't know. So, so what I do too sometimes, since I already looked at it, I'll just copy this and paste it in here. Anything that goes in this field gets put in an Excel spreadsheet that I'm able to download at the end of each session. And so that hunting that was like 5 seconds worth of a Google search, now it's already done. Now it's saved and I don't have to go back to it again. So and then if it comes up again, I could copy and paste that over. So just try and keep it all in one place. So there's a question: are all skip tracing services practically the same? Yeah, no, I would say not all. And again, that's why you got to kind of experiment with it. Just with any business or service, there's a little bit of a secret sauce that goes on to the background behind the scenes, especially data management. So they aren't, but they can be co-branded, meaning one data service is being replicated in other brands and sold that way. I've seen that too. So if you're having trouble finding it in one place, you might need to, find other ways to find it. And that's why some houses just sit there.
I got an off-topic question for you.
Yeah, sure.
You got a do you have an affiliate link for Call Tools?
Do I have an affiliate for Call Tools? Yeah, actually I do. Oh no, actually I don't, but I called the rep. I called the rep and I'm trying to get an appointment with him. So I'm working on it. Thanks. But I used, if you know Mitch Durfee, reach out to him. I used his a year ago. I don't know if it's such a big discount now. It was yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
This comes from years of experience with Call Tools. Have you used any other dialer outside of Call Tools?
Oh yeah. Hello?
Yes, may I help you?
Hi, my name is Liz. Am I speaking with Rudolphus?
You are?
Okay. Well, my name is Liz, and it sounds like you're driving. Did I catch you at a bad time?
What is this in reference to, Liz?
Sure, I can appreciate that question. Well, I'm an investor and I'm looking to connect with owners, property managers, landlords, real estate agents. And the reason for the phone call is just to reach out to you to see if you've thought about selling.
Selling what?
Selling property. I'm an investor and I'm looking to buy my next investment property in Florida.
Okay, so Liz, I'm an investor as well, and I have several properties too actually listed.
Oh, okay.
So which property are you inquiring about?
Well, if it's this property or not, if you're interested in selling, maybe I could take a look at the one that's listed. But I'm really interested in the Orlando and Tampa markets, and mostly multifamily, but I will consider single family as well.
Okay, so I have no properties in those areas you just mentioned.
Oh, okay. Maybe I have wrong information.
Mm-hmm.
So where are your listings, or what would you consider an offer on? What property?
Well, I have two properties listed. Both are in the pocket. They're on the MLS.
Oh, okay.
There's an agent. Those are the only things that I'm interested in selling at this point.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, who's your agent? I don't mind like working with your agent.
Yeah, Maurice Pierre, Premium Properties, and I'll be happy to give you the addresses to those properties so you can
Sure.
look them up. Right. One is 268 West 8th Street, Apopka. The other is 255 East 13th Street, Apopka. Both of these properties are used as investment properties. I rent the rooms, not the entire house. You could do whatever you like with it.
Yeah.
But they're income producing properties for me.
Okay. So, do you have, are the tenants at will, or do you have a lease agreement in place?
There is no lease agreement. It's a week-to-week situation. It's a transit situation. However, some of the tenants have been there for an extended amount of time, but again, rent is paid in advance every week.
Okay.
And both properties are 100% occupied. Both properties have 4 rooms in them. One property has 4 bathrooms, so each tenant has a bathroom. The other property has 3 bathrooms, so 2 tenants share a bathroom, and the other 2 tenants have their own. But again, the properties are 100% full. Each room is $225. That's $900 a week, $4 to $6,800 a year. You can do the math on the cap rate.
Sure.
Well, you can do you need the asking price. One property is listed at 170, the other at 180. So.
Okay.
You have the addresses. Go to Zillow.
Yeah,
you will see.
Yeah, I'll definitely do some research on that. So, you know, are you, once you're done with these transactions, are you looking to add more to your portfolio?
Well, you're an investor. It's all about market, right?
Yeah.
Timing. Yeah.
So you're looking to buy something bigger?
I have no idea at this time. I'm just watching the market right now.
Oh, are you staying in the same area, or are you looking to buy out of state?
Nah, I'm gonna be an absentee owner.
So you're looking for more rental properties in Florida then?
I didn't say that. I said I was watching the market to see what it does.
Watching the market. Okay. Well, that's what
Yeah,
I'm just, because I'm in a couple of different
right.
markets. I'm
Okay.
I'm based in the Boston area. I am looking,
Okay.
yeah, I'm looking to relocate to Florida. So I'm looking in Tampa, like I said, and Orlando. But I also look, you know, out of state and other places, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, California,
So, question for
Washington.
you: is it Liz?
Yeah, Elizabeth. Yeah, Liz.
Yeah. So, Elizabeth, how did my name get on your prospecting lead list? How did my name get on your list?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I always like answering that one. So your property met my initial investing criteria. So I reach out to have conversations like this.
Well, I understand your statement. My properties met your criteria, however, but you have to have some type of query to get such a properties. But you never mentioned which exact property met your criteria.
Oh, okay. So let's see, 142 West Michael.
Right.
Yeah.
I do own that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, but I'll respect your intentions. I mean, from one investor to the other, you know, I want to make sure this is, you know, a good deal for you. I'll take a look at what you have here, 268 West 8th Street and 255 East 13th Street, and see if that, you know, if that's a good deal for me.
Okay. Well, good luck with that, Liz.
All right. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
All right.
All right. Talk to you later. See ya.
Take care, Liz.
All right. You too. Bye.
I love when I get other investors on the phone.
That's why I was like, you know, it's almost easier to call this kind of list because they're either inadvertent investors or they're like this. Like they'll have a conversation with you because, you know, they're doing it, you know, they get it. So I'm gonna put him, I'm just gonna put this needs analysis, and then that means I need to do more research on the properties. And I'll 268 West.
Let me ask you, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Have you always just used Call Tool?
Oh yeah, that was a question early on. So when I first started, I was just using a CRM system. It didn't have any, and I was not doing any cold calling for my real estate investing, but I've been in sales for 15 years. And so I'm used to outbound calls, but flipping that to real estate investing was just within the last year. And I did start with call tools, but when I started investing, I did pre-foreclosures and I did mailers to start out. So I had inbound, I had, sellers calling me, and then I'd have that conversation, to go to the property, walk the property, do the evaluations. So I didn't start here, but I've done a lot of outbound calls before I came on here. But this is the only dialer that I've used. And I've only had one CRM. Now, knowing everything that I know now, would I be set up the same way? I might get PropStream. I don't know. It seemed pretty cool. But I still like RealFlow, the system that I use, having my investor hat as a rehabber, because it does some other things in there that I don't know if PropStream does. But I've put myself in the position of being the deal finder. Any of the deals that I've done so far, I've found, and then I brought partners in for experience and partners in for the remainder of the money. So I am trying to ramp up and scale up, like how I find the deals with the cold calling and the lists I'm pulling and the data management. That's why I signed up for REI Sift, because I do have a lot of lists, and I'm trying to do that data management now and then add more things to, again, get those lead lists that are more likely to sell with you. But if you're not calling any list, you're not going to get anything anyway. So that's why I'm like, okay, I gotta step up to this community. I'm expecting them to, I got to show up myself and do the calls. But eventually I'm going to bring either other investors coming up through this community. I have some requirements for that I don't mind JVing with, or I'm going to systematize and then delegate some of the data stuff to VAs to, again, structure this so it is a big machine and it's working without me, so I don't have to be in it the whole time.
Yeah, that's perfect, because we did start out with call tools initially.
Mm-hmm.
We even tried, what was it, Mojo,
yeah.
We did batch dialer. We went back to call tools, and now we found the perfect one, and I'm just happy with it.
What are you using?
I'm using Just Call.
Just Call, I haven't heard of that one.
Oh my God, it is awesome. One of my investors that I bought in to introduce to wholesaling and has surpassed me. I'm supremely proud of him. I'm jealous, and I tell him that all the time. Like, how in the world did I introduce you to this? And you are making 6 figures every month. You're kicking my butt.
Nice. What market are you in?
We are in, he is actually in the Maryland and Indiana market.
Okay.
We are actually in DMV area, Texas, Florida, Indianapolis, and Kentucky.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
The dollar just says our KPIs, once we got into REI SIF, it was a wrap. Our list became more niche. We were getting more calls answered, more texts answered. Oh, I'm a happy camper right now.
See, I literally just signed up for it last night, and so I'm like, I haven't really been in it. I don't know but it was a recent discovery for me. Yeah.
Take that challenge. Go through that dojo.
And then I was kind of mad. I'm like, this person didn't tell me. This person didn't tell me. This person didn't tell me. It's like the best kept secret, right?
No,
what is the name?
Actually, honestly, we tried the system 2 years ago. It was not where it is at now. Now that we're back in it, it has made our business literally run itself. Literally.
So Mario's asking, what are we talking about? We're talking about REI Sift. And so it's not a dialer. It's sort of a CRM as far as I know, but basically you already have to have your data, or you have to be able to pull that data in from ListSource or PropStream or some other CRM system. And that was my problem. Like, I have all these lists. I even have my list from the pre-foreclosures back in 2019 that I still want to, filter through the cities that I want and add those
Don't
back
throw them
in.
lists
Yeah.
away, girl. Do not
Yeah.
give them away. You're leaving money. I'm telling you, we took a list from a year ago and closed 2 deals. This
No,
last
it's gonna be so ripe. Like I can't like just walk away from it. That's why I was like, I gotta figure this is a big puzzle I gotta figure out.
Elizabeth, it's not a puzzle to figure out. I'm trying to tell you, you need to go through that REI SIF challenge.
I'm doing it. I know I'm gonna do it with it. Yeah, I'm
It's
sold.
gonna blow your mind. We stopped spending so much money on data. It took all the data we've had in the last 2 years. We've locked up deals within the past 3 months.
I need
like
to get an
nothing.
affiliate link with them.
Girl, I'm
So
trying
it's
to
okay.
tell you.
I know it. It's yeah, it's best kept secret, I think. So
Yeah, the market's kind of going crazy now because it's slowing down, speeding up. Lack of what people want to say, lack of properties, but it's not a lack of properties.
no, it's
Niching your list
consistency, right?
down. Consistency, niche your list down, track your KPIs. My D4D list is thebomb.com.
Thebomb.com. Throw it in the chat.
Oh yeah, both definitely. If you guys want batch driven, if you don't have a car, that's not an excuse. You can virtually drive for dollars, send out your text, and lock up deals. You can't do it if you don't get to it.
How long have you been investing? And who am I talking to? I can't even see anything. I just hear a voice.
This is Victoria.
Oh, hi, Victoria.
Hi, Elizabeth. I'm out of the DMV. I rarely get a chance to, I just got off work. So I still do my W-2. I still invest. By the end of this year, I will be retiring from my good government job, just full-time investing. I mean, it's worth doing. My partner, we're going to retire him in September. So he's full-time in the business. Then once he's full-time, I have a little bit of relief. But then when I go full-time, it's completely a wrap. So
that's
I'm telling you
exciting.
guys, it's awesome. It's changing lives. It's changed my life. We're closing a deal. Matter of fact, this was an on-market deal. Yep, I'm closing it. And we stand to make 35K.
Nice. Congratulations. That's awesome. Okay.
So I just wanted to chime in, Victoria. You say you're in the DMV. How far in the V you go? I'm in the Hampton Roads area.
Okay, so we haven't found out. I grew up in the Hampton Roads area. My dad was
Okay, I'm in Norfolk.
So I would love to get in that market. I haven't found any investors to team up with. I've been working with a hedge fund. Now that I see you in that Hampton market, okay, I may have an entry in. Of course, I got to run it by my
There
partner.
it is.
Got to run it by my partner, but we're working with a couple of, 3 hedge funds right now, so it's working out a little bit better for us. But with a hedge fund, they have certain areas they go into. So
Absolutely.
typically, a lot of investors have been sending me their deals. We'll JV on them, and we'll just split it down the middle. Too much money for people to make out here for me to be stingy.
That's
Absolutely,
awesome.
absolutely. I'm gonna drop my information. Reach out to me, please.
Got you. We'll do. And anybody, I will drop my info, my name of our business. Of course, we're on Facebook. Where else would we be? Well, we're all over, to be honest. RelaFlow, Elizabeth, I meant to tell you that earlier when I first learned about investing.
Yeah.
I learned about it because I was a part of a real estate education platform. Hands down, once we can afford it just off the bat and pay it in full, I'm going for it with no questions asked, not looking back.
Are you saying you're going to create your own?
No. We're going to go ahead and buy into the RelaFlow because RelaFlow is one of the best ones out there.
Yeah.
It's top dollar. You've got to invest in it. And we realize if we don't invest in ourselves, we're not doing anything within this business.
Yeah.
So if you're not willing to spend the money, and I know it's cliche, spend money to make money, it's not going to kill you to buy 100 leads. You're not going to die off of losing $25 to $30, depending on where you get the list from. And ListSource gives you the list for free. It's all on who you skip trace it with.
That's why I love IDI. That's why I do like RealFlow because I can pull my own list through that dashboard. But the secret sauce is pulling lists from other places. Like you mentioned, driving for dollars, either virtual or get other people to kind of go through streets. I have a W-2 too, and that's kind of, this and deals is funding my investing habit. But you're right, Victoria. I need to make this machine work and pump out money. So that's the idea. That's awesome. Yeah, throw your contact information in the chat, network, make sure to save it. And if there's no other questions, I'll get back on the dialer.
Thank you for
Yeah,
chatting
thank you.
with me real quick. I really enjoyed that. Thank you for the IBI. That's another one I'm about to look up.
Yeah, did you find us through Meetup or the Facebook group?
I think it was through Facebook. I have a tendency to somebody tagged me, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know how I got into this group. And then when I saw it come up, I said, oh, accountability. I'm a part of the Superhumans group with Aaron Bevins, but I network everywhere. And Antoine Campbell, one of my great friends, been with them for a while, missing the meetups, but I'm telling you, it's money to be made out here. It doesn't come in overnight. It took us a whole year to get to our first deal. We're still grinding.
Yeah.
If you give up before the race is over,
no,
you might as well not even be in this business.
Yeah, exactly. You have to have that. I mean, Gualter said earlier, right? You have to put the work in it. You don't want to just stay grinding all the time, but you want to use the resources that are available to you. And part of that is knowledge. You don't know what you don't know. But what you do know, you have to put it into practice. And that's why we have this Monday night here. I did create a calling for contracts Facebook groups. So if you want more on some of the conversations that we're having here, I put more of that in my Facebook group, but I'm always pointing back to the, Alchemist and, Gualter and Dorina have built out fantastic trainings all throughout the week. If you don't want to just stay in wholesaling and you want to be a landlord, I mean, my goal is to be able to wholesale apartment buildings and or stay in the deals that I kind of cherry pick, but you don't have a deal unless you go out there and get it. And so that's part of why I'm cold calling, but I'm also, doing, kind of free posts on Facebook and postcard mailings and things like that. You have to reach out in different ways, but again, you have to do that in a scalable way. And so part of that is identifying properties that have multiple pain points, and you do that through these list stackings. That's why I'm biting the bullet and getting another CRM system or service.
Exactly. You have to dive into it. And thank you for sharing that information. Like I said, been in the market for a minute, met a lot of greats that I'm actually close friends with. They don't give me they give you the game free, but they've actually helped us along the way. They won't give us everything because, of course, if we give it to you, you won't learn it, you won't do it. You'll expect it to be done for you.
Yes.
So if you ever have questions about VAs, ask me. Spent thousands of dollars on them. Had to learn the hard way on how to make sure we have a vetted VA. Just don't go out, jump on Fiverr and buy a VA. You'll be like us, out of money.
So your VAs what are they doing for you? Cold calling, or are they doing something else?
We just lost one VA, but we have one VA cold calling. The other one is doing admin. That means answering our texts, sending our texts, responding to our texts. Mm-hmm. We also offer them bonuses. They lock up a contract, period, point blank, whether we close on it or not, they get $50. When we lock up the contract, they get an automatic $250. If we make more than we expected, of course we take care of them even more.
Yeah.
So if you're not taking care of these VAs and you're just expecting them to work, don't bother with a VA. You have to treat them like they're team members, not employees.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I like that. And that's the thing. That's one of the things that, drew me to real estate investing is you can fit it around your personality, you can fit it around your skill set, and then, fill that with other people. And it is a team sport, even if it's single family, but even more so for multifamily or larger deals. And I had that initial limiting belief. I'm in the Boston market. You can't find a lot for $500,000 basically.
Girl, Boston. I'm like, I'm not scared of it, but I don't have any investors willing to drop pockets up there right now.
Yeah, yeah. So now the numbers on apartments, I was like, I'm used to looking at these other numbers here. So it's not a big jump for me, but it is a longer. I've only done a few deals, but I'm looking to scale and looking to ramp up, and that's why I'm looking at Florida's a little bit easier market
You
to.
mind if I answer a question I just saw pop up?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Let me look at the question again. I have what is this? Hillary, you're asking about what a VA is. A VA is a virtual assistant for W-2 people like me who love the real estate game but can't dedicate those 40 hours or 20 hours per week. We hire these VAs out at anywhere between $4 to $7 an hour. When you look at it, it's worth it because they're doing the work you can't do during the week. Like I said, I work a government job in the District of Columbia. Honey, I ain't got no time, but the time I do have is gone. So I depend on my VAs, but I vet them out. We've been through them enough to know what we're looking for and how to nail them down.
Well said, well said. So you must have a job description or a way to keep them accountable, or keeping those expectations going. Is how do you manage that? And then are they local or are they overseas?
Okay, so let me go ahead and answer that. I've seen another question come up. So I'm going to give my info. My partner's going to kill me because I'm taking on more tasks, but this is me. So with the VAs, they are not local. They are based out of the Philippines. I've found them to be the best, even though there are some in, oh my gosh, I can't even think of the city, but Armando Olivares has some VAs that we've also interviewed. So when we do our VAs, I see the questions popping up. I'm trying not to get distracted by them. However, when we hire our VAs, yes, we vet them out. Yes, I check your Facebook page. Yes, I call under other investors. When you drop an investor's name with me, like last week, we started interviewing for VAs. The VA said, well, I worked for this investor and my partner didn't know what I was doing. As soon as she dropped his name, I Facebook messaged him. Hey, I see you had this VA, and he gave me the lowdown. I'm like, no, we're passing on her. Because if you weren't a team player for one person, you would not be a fit for us. And it was just all in how she was answering questions, and she wanted to be paid upfront an exorbitant amount of money for a single VA. Yeah, no, not unless I'm going through a VA company.
Yeah. We've had guest speakers on the Monday night, the training, that first hour from 5 to 6 Eastern. We have different guest speakers, and one of them, Amber Crow, she does Amber Calls with Love. She basically does, Amber. Okay, yeah, she's been on, and I know if Kevin's still on the call, Kevin uses her, and she helps you basically train the VAs. What I'm looking to do is a little bit different. I mean, I want to use VAs more for my list pulling and reaching out for the public information, public records requests, and or some of the data sifting and sorting. So it's more not on the cold calling side, but more on the the administrative. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Elizabeth, what I would suggest for you when you're doing that, when you're looking for admin VA, I know a few of them, but when you're looking for them admin VAs, you want to make sure that they're knowledgeable REI SIFT, and yes, they are out there. You want to know when they went through REI SIFT. You want to know how they've actively worked and when's the last time they've been in REI SIFT. We interviewed a couple of those VAs, and yeah, I've been in REI SIFT, but that was about a year ago. Okay, no. Would you be willing to train in REI SIFT? Well, that's a lot of time. Okay, it is a lot of time, but this is what we're looking for our company. You can't scale up if you don't have the knowledge. We'll pay for it, but if you're not willing to do it, then there's no sense of us wasting the money. And a lot of them will say, no, I don't have the time. Okay, well then you're not a real go-getter VA, so you wouldn't be a fit for our team. Not that you can't do the job, but
yeah. And you have to have those, expectations, or, it's got to be a win-win for both. Absolutely.
And Hillary, if you add me on Facebook, I will give you as much information. And yes, I do have 3 realtors on my team. I love my realtors. I will not give them up or away, but I will allow them to work with you. So if you guys see me on Facebook, you can look up our company, AB Visionaries.
Did you drop it in the chat already?
Yeah, I'll put it in there. I dropped the direct message it, but I'm gonna drop it for the whole chat. So there we go. You can look up our Facebook page. Yes, our business numbers are there. I'd prefer if you personally hit me in a message. I don't mind helping out, but please know that I do run a business and will help you structure yours as great as I can. Again, I'm a giver. I don't typically charge. I haven't been at that point in my life where I feel like I need to charge, and a lot of this information is free, but you just have to find the like-minded people to surround yourself and work with people that you can trust and know
Yeah.
that you're both looking to do the same thing.
Yeah. I'm gonna stop the share for just a second. I want to go in.
I just got one more question for Victoria, and then I'm done. I'm gonna let Liz. I know you got to get back to it.
Yeah, no, it's
Liz,
okay.
like,
No,
y'all
I'm
must
finding.
go
I'm gonna
from-
drop my Facebook. I need to add people to my Facebook page. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. But Victoria, we're gonna see you next week. The community wants to know. That's all. That was my last question.
If somebody would nicely send me a reminder, I'm not offended by it. Facebook me, let me know something. Hey, Victoria, we're meeting on Mondays because typically our DAs only work Tuesday through Saturdays. So Mondays is kind of a catch up with everything I didn't catch up with on Saturday and Sunday. But I can say that, yeah, I can jump on here. Would love to have my partner on here. I'm gonna tell y'all he won't accept it, but he is the go-to oil in our business. When I say he's meticulous at what he does, oh my gosh, he keeps me on my toes.
Sounds like somebody we would love to have in the community. I'm sure Liz agrees.
yes, absolutely. Yes.
Definitely send him an invite. I know he's gonna be like, what you done did? Nothing.
We have I mean, you're already here, but let me find the I gotta go on a calendar. Here's the Zoom link to register. So then you could just have this on your calendar. I'll drop it in the chat since you guys are already here. Oh,
perfect. I'll go ahead and add my
that's the
business
wrong one.
partner.
Victoria, this is Mario, first time caller and newbie. All right, so I'm not a newbie. I'm old as shit, but besides the point. I sent you a friend request. I was curious about the hedge funds. So you do that play? You like dealing with the hedge funds? Do they sell you like 10
You want me
at
to
a
be
time?
honest? To be honest, yeah, I do like dealing with them, but there's sometimes where you're submitting. They want you to have the property under contract. A lot of people don't feel like they should have the property under contract prior to. However, I do see the sense in that because I'm putting in a agreement with this customer. Hey, they're going to buy your property. Yes, it's qualified. However, once they do that inspection, things can go a little bit awry. So
they don't like closing on. Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, once they do that inspection is going to finalize. They'll give me the verbal go ahead, but when that inspector goes out and they find different things wrong, they may not want to take the deal, and they'll just say, hey, they'll reach out and see if they can find some other buyers. But at that point in time, once I submit it to them, I'm already on my buyers list. I'm already issuing it out because I know that I might get that comeback from the hedge fund.
No on that. Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
With me for hedge funds is that you want to meet their criteria. So you have to do your due diligence with the hedge funds, and you have to search out where they're buying, how they're buying, look at their website, the type of houses they're buying, and know, okay, this can be a deal. You have to check the median income. They definitely look at the median income.
Yeah, that's awesome. Maybe we need to do a training on hedge funds prospecting for them. I do anyway.
Ooh, I've been with them for a couple of months and I'm still learning myself, but I'm just like, really? Y'all got all this money, told me yes. Now you're saying no. I've had one deal, fall through, but that doesn't discourage me. I continue pushing because like I said, the money is out here to be made. It's the sacrifices we're willing to make in the investment in ourselves.
Yeah, get it done. Absolutely.
Yeah. Now your hedge fund guys are out of your state, right? Because mine are out of New York.
No, they're actually, this hedge fund one is in Florida, one is in Chicago, and I just got on with the other one, so I couldn't tell you, but they only buy in certain markets.
Yeah, because what my play is.
Oh, hang on, hello?
Please leave your message for 813-523-5311.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. All right, go for it.
I done interrupted. I'm gonna let you finish dialing. I gotta jump off here and make a call on a contract I'm having pullback on right now with the seller. They're getting cold feet.
Oh, all right. Good luck with that, Victoria. Thank you so much for all the great advice, and you're welcome back anytime. We're looking forward to networking with you.
Definitely looking forward to network. Like I said, anybody can reach me on Facebook. I appreciate you. I'm sorry I did not want to interrupt. I just wanted to know how long you've been using call tools, because I'm like, she's having good access. I don't want to end up going back to it, but that would be my go-to if I have to go back to a dialer.
I like it, and I'm discovering more. I think they need to do a better job on how to use it to its full potential. It's got to be out there. I just haven't found it yet, or I'm just going to write it myself, because you can do like email sequencing through this based on dispositions. You can already do the texting. You can already do like all the call follow-ups. And I like the dispositions having different messages based on your list. So this should be a one-stop like pass through. Like if you think about, a filter or funnel, everything should be going in here. Your buyers, your sellers, any type of industry professional. That's why I want to have different messaging for real estate agents, different messaging for property managers, different messaging, especially if you're going to go after apartment buildings, because there's more players involved or different aspects and pieces. And with the questions that we're kind of at tonight, I'm like, okay, how do I get money people in here? Hard money people or brokers and financiers that way. And what does that messaging look like? So all good things, all good ways to fine tune and fine tune this machine.
Oh, I'm looking
This is a
forward
money
to
making
that.
machine.
I'm looking forward to that. Just Call does everything that you just stated, everything and probably a little bit more, but and they'll cater it. I've found that they'll cater it to what you want without extra charges. And I'm like, I'm still between Call Tools and Just Call. We just been in Just Call for the last couple of months. I'm gonna give it a run for its money. I'm not gonna quit on it yet.
Yeah.
But thanks, guys. I will catch you. Let me get to the seller before.
Yeah, 8. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we only got a few. So don't forget, everybody, go ahead and save the chat, because that is valuable for networking. I'm going to go back and take a look at that later on tonight, but got to finish the calls. Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you, Victoria. Liz, can you send it to me email, because I'm driving, unfortunately?
Yeah. Send it to Mario. Got it.
Caller and newbie, I need that.
I'm sorry, Elizabeth. Can you send that to me? I don't see where I can download the chat. I'm on my phone, actually.
Oh, if you're on your phone, you can't do it. Yeah, you got to be on a desktop. Okay. All right, for you.
Send that to me, I would greatly appreciate it.
Is your email on here? Yeah.
Let me put I think I did put my email in there.
Okay, make sure. Just put it in there again, so I know where to go at the end.
I'm gonna put in our business email.
Perfect. See, that's how you get it done. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Who was it I was talking to? Hit me on Facebook or give me a call. You got my info. Talk to you later.
Bye. All right. So I left a voicemail, just a random one, generic. Yeah, so I'm excited about REI Sift. I'm going to pull more lists and hope. Hello?
Please leave your message for 40779053324.
Hey, this is Liz with Metro Units. We're investors and we're looking for our next investment property in Florida. If you're open to offers or know someone who is, call or text 857-600-2370. Thanks. So Hillary, if you're on a desktop, just open up the chat. There's 3 dots on the right-hand side of the chat box right by the smiley face and document. Hello?
You've reached Ogie Ryan. Thank you for calling. Please let me know the most convenient way to get back with you. Leave me a message. Leave your number. Thanks.
Hi, Okie. This is Liz. My number is 857 857-600-2370. Again, this is Liz, 857-600-2370. We're investors and we're looking to network with landlords, property managers, real estate agents, brokers. If any of that describes you or you know someone interested in selling a property in Florida, call or text. Again, this is Liz, 857-600-2370. Thanks. Okay, so voicemail. So same here. So yeah, I guess everybody just, if you want it, drop your emails because I can't send it to you if I don't have your email. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, I do it after the call. It is 7:50. There is another meeting kind of back to back with this one that they use the Zoom link and chat and all that. So I'll probably maybe make one more call and then I can show you the back end of what I've been talking about for all of you because you've stayed to the very end. So you guys are rock stars. I'll show you kind of the results of today's calls. So left message. So left message, outgoing voicemail confirms this is a good number for Oki. So we'll save that. Yeah, anytime. We're glad to have people here. We do have a Facebook group, but what I was saying is I'll just hop out of this dialer and we can show you sort of the back end office here. So we made all the calls. Those are on our that you just sat through that were on our list. I go to the report side and the call stats. I just look at it. I keep track of it. It's more of visual representation to see how well the data was done. I might need to adjust. This seems a little bit higher for drop calls. I might need to adjust how the call is going out because a lot of them were abandoned. I've seen it where it's really the flip side of it. But I made 353 outbound calls and I had 107 live either left voicemails or conversations. So that's kind of how the numbers break down there. And then this is good to take a look at because you see how many dial attempts or no answers. This is failed, numbers weren't really good or accurate. And then these are the ones that kind of went through. Busy dials, disconnected. So not sure what's going on with that behind the scenes. But this is where I can go back and for the night, just download. I just download it. Florida and 8/9/21. And then it just keeps a log. So the downloads, you can see all for all of time. I could go back and I can do filters based on month, but I like keeping all of the call sessions in one sitting. So 8/7, that doesn't, that was that Friday? I don't know. 6:45, 3:49 is not bad, for a day. But then I can, again, filter based on the disposition and get a list that way. I have this so I can, again, go through and kind of take a look at some of the notes. And then I also have the recordings. So that's something that I'm trying to, listen to and kind of be able to critique myself. Probably go back to that MLS listing to make sure I got all those details right. If you're you're on the phone on a live call, sometimes you're thinking about what you want to say next and you might miss some details. So it's always nice to go back and listen to those recordings and see if you picked up any nuances outside of that. But I'm going to stop the share and make sure everybody has the links to Gualter's group too, because there's still some new people here. I'm going to go to the right place. And then there is a mentorship program. And so that's what comes on after this. So it's an 8-week program. I went through it. I think it's very valuable if you are trying to build out your day-to-day activities in business and have an accountability to be doing the things you know you should be doing. I don't know. What do you think, Mario? You think it's a good group of guys, gals? It's still muted.
Very good. You know,
yeah.
Especially a newbie for me, like me. You know, it's very helpful to. I like it because you get to talk to fellow like-minded investors.
Yeah, people in your same situation, but then you also have all the celebrity coaches and panels. Everybody's kind of in their niche. You know, Mitch with evaluating property details and crypto, and Doug,
Doug mindset.
Yeah.
And, you know, the whole gamut. It's
Terry. Yeah.
Very reassuring.
All right, let's see if there's, yeah. So if anybody has any questions, join the group. It's that last link in there. You can, network with that. Deals are, displayed in there. So if you've got a deal under agreement, you can always market it that way. Network, learn, and we'll see you on the next call. Say I got to download it again. Hang on. All right. Bye, guys.